Greetings, sentient beings. This broadcast is not intended for children. There will be strong language and adult themes. This broadcast is not intended for children. There will be strong language and adult themes.
You need to mute it there, or...
Yep, it did.
Okay.
It's echoing otherwise.
Yes.
Again?
Technical difficulties right off the bat. Hello, everybody.
It's my fault.
I have no idea where everybody else, where Purple is. I have no idea where Jenni is. I'm guessing Jenni's probably resting. She needs it.
Yeah.
I'm worried about Jenni.
Yeah, she's really struggling. I mean, she's in her upper 70s with pneumonia and other problems. That's
she's in the lower 70s. She's
lower 70s.
Me.
Okay, lower 70s.
I'm 71, so she's 72.
Well, that's still bad.
Yeah.
I remember when I had the pneumonia there, I was feeling like a 80-year-old smoker. So I can imagine she must be feeling like, what, 120?
Well, when I was in my 40s, I once had pneumonia, and I thought I'd broken some ribs. And then I came to the doctor, and I said, "You have to go back and stay inside." And I got antibiotics and stuff, and it was not good. This was not good.
Well, maybe the squirrels have kidnapped them, and they're holding them ransom. I mean, a grand conspiracy to steal the world's nuts.
Yeah, that must be.
Yes.
That must be it. Really.
So yeah, it's the Squirrel Appreciation Day.
Oh. Have you ever seen this thing in what was it, in Top Gear with when this guy said, if you want to know if this guy is English or not, let him say squirrel, because Germans cannot say squirrel. They make it look like squirrel or something.
Yeah.
So this is the Worldwide Squirrel Day.
I don't see Mage or Commander. Okay.
I'm
so
here.
Was I the only one glitched out, or did everyone
Internet
else
is really
also?
slow.
You were kind of
buffering.
Yeah, you were kind of buffering a little bit, but Commander seems to be kind of breaking up a little bit. But
yeah, I looked at the screen, and yeah, Ned's logo was the only one I saw. The other three of us, I all saw buffering.
Your unfinished screen there,
huh? Exactly.
So, let's see here. What do I got here?
Yeah, I don't know what this internet is slow. I just do a test. I just see I was about 600 MB up and 600 down. So it is not my internet.
I changed the VPN. My VPN that I was into was not very fast.
VPN will do that.
I don't have a VPN upstairs.
Oh. Purple, you have your camera on. Don't want to go like that.
I almost sit on top of Commander. It's like, say, 1.5 meters below me.
Well, that's kind of
the scale of the screen.
I see Purple in the bottom rung here. So,
Commander,
there we are. Good.
Commander, if you have doubts, get that white internet cable, that white LAN cable, and put it in your laptop. Then then you're not on Wi-Fi anymore.
Your camera is on, Purple.
Yeah.
Okay, and Jenny says she's in the hospital, so she won't be making the show.
She's in good hands at least.
Oh, that sucks.
She says, I won't be making the show until I figure out how to get out of the straitjacket.
Well, that's good. At least she's funny.
How about a gay
She's still got her sense of humor.
Oh, hello.
Hello.
Hi, Perps.
Hello.
And here's something I found, I think, in Gilei, a commander.
We asked for nothing but the cold, a land that does not beg or fold. But the eagle goes mad once more, greedy for Greenland's mineral core. They come with deals, they come with lies, with smiles that must imperialize. Now not awaken our iron pact. Brothers in frost, be prepared to act.
One ice, one alliance, cold and strong. Through the storm we march along.
Attack on one means war on all. Total escalation, watch the eagle fall.
Bears and penguins kneel to none. Our oath is sealed, our will is one.
From Hearn and McDonald, southern ice to Greenland shore, our banners rise. Arms to Greenland, crate by crate. A strong nation will not capitulate. Bears and penguins laugh at death. Cold purpose fills their final breath. They shape defenses, drill in formations. Joint maneuvers bind our frozen nations.
Forward,
Warriors of the frozen lands,
defend Greenland from the orange hand. One ice, one alliance, cold and strong. Through the storm we march along. Attack on one means war on all. Total escalation, watch the eagle fall. Bears and penguins kneel to none. Our oath is sealed, our will is one.
from Hearn and McDonald, southern ice to Greenland shore. Our banners rise.
Nice.
So it seems the penguin army has joined the polar bears and looks like some war horses to defend Greenland from the orange shit stain on America.
You know, I think there's going, if he starts war with NATO, there's going to be 10 of Americans who are just going to let forces from the North just go into the United States and even help them.
That's a possibility.
Well, he's already mobilizing to invade Minnesota.
I noticed.
You know, because people are not receiving the ICE agents well, they have already told 1,500 U.S. Army soldiers to be on standby to dispatch to Minnesota at any moment. So he is literally going to invade Minnesota with the U.S. Army.
Yeah, or it is a thing to keep secret that he is planning to invading Canada through Minnesota.
Mm-hmm. The Republican Party has got to see how unhinged he is with starting wars with other countries and knowing that he's never going to stop. They've got to remove him. You know, they're the only people that have the power to remove him right now.
Yeah.
Hey, Sammy.
I had a little hope yesterday when Air how do you call it? Air Force One or something had to return to the airport. I think there was a squirrel or something in the motor, so they had to take it back.
Yeah, I saw.
Had to take a backup plane.
Yeah, I saw speculation on that.
Damn squirrels!
Can't say that today. It is Squirrel Appreciation Day today. That's
Yeah.
Didn't
But
anybody
that is
read the title?
if that was a squirrel who got
Yes.
this thing, it should have a day of its own. Squirrel that got down Air Force One Appreciation Day.
Oh. Yeah, I'm sorry. I have not been sleeping well at all. I did have an alarm set. I remember it going off. I was sure I had only hit the snooze, but I guess I must have shut it off.
It's an emotional roller coaster, the world we are living in.
Yeah, and it is causing me much anxiety. I'm sure that's a big part of why I have not been sleeping in the past week. I think I had mentioned on here before that 2 members of my support group got nabbed by ICE
No, you
because
didn't
they
mention
were they were protesting and they were filming ICE harassing the customers going in and out of a Somali business. So the ICE agents objected to anyone documenting what they were doing.
Yeah. So what else is new?
that.
Yeah, but they were arrested on a Saturday and they were not released until a Tuesday.
Yeah.
And that was only because within hours of them being in, we already had a response team ready. So there were like lawyers making calls and, poking at them to find out where they were being held. And they never could find out where they were being held. And when they got back, they told us that, they just kept throwing them into windowless vans. And, in the 4 days that they were in ICE custody, that they had been moved 3 times. But, they had no idea where any of these locations were until, except the one they were released from.
Yeah, America, where you can get disappeared off the street. Isn't that?
Yep.
That's the American way, right?
Yep. And that's the scary thing, that they can do that. That they can just take anyone off the street, and there's no kind of trail. There's no way for anybody to find out where they are. And it's not like being arrested by the police, because if you're arrested by the police, they have to give you a phone call so that you can tell your family where you are. ICE doesn't do that.
I had a relative who was surprised that I was out of the country. That was the Trumper who is eating everything, all the consequences of his bullshit.
Yeah, also ICE confiscated their phones, and I was getting messages from one of the confiscated phones, and I think that they were trying to set me up so that they could arrest me for being a drug dealer. Because I was getting messages that they wanted to buy some prescription drugs from me.
Those
Fucking bastards.
Yeah. Put it lightly. Trust me, if I said what I want to say right now, I'd probably have a knock on my door, or not too long after.
Yeah.
I would get a new phone.
So,
Well,
If
They
I
didn't
may,
actually have like my phone information. It was just through Signal Chat.
if
So
I
they
may,
didn't have your number. They
No,
can.
They didn't have my
They
phone
might
number.
be
or my
able to
name.
send. And they didn't send any files like graphite or anything like that.
No, I would not accept any kind of files like that, even if they had. But no, it was just text messages through Signal Chat.
So
I thought
if
that
I
was
may,
coded.
Because we
If
had
I
all
may-
thought of that beforehand, and that if anybody was going to a protest, bring a burner phone.
if I may push my glasses up my nose for just a moment, Purple.
Yeah.
The purpose of the phone call is to allow you to contact an attorney, not necessarily your family.
Well, yeah, but to contact somebody. Yeah, and just the queer community had a response team already set up. So we already had, 3 lawyers who had signed up to defend anyone that ICE grabbed.
Well,
But yeah, they're clearly targeting the Somalis here.
yeah, based on, I guess, the term trumped up charges was quite appropriate.
Yeah. Of
And
course, they will arrest anybody with brown skin.
You know what?
The slimy bastards went and had lunch at a Mexican restaurant, and after they were finished, arrested the whole kitchen staff.
You know what happens when Somalis are sent back to Somalia? It's just a death sentence. They are the real.
Yeah. Well, and it's still the problem that they're deporting people who are often being sent to countries they've never been to.
Yeah, they're doing that. Yeah.
And there was a woman who was deported, and she had been born in the U.S. So I forget which country it was, but they sent her back to whatever was her parents' native country, but she had never been there in her entire life.
And maybe this make us feel a little bit better. This is Jake Long. He's one of those Jan 6 assholes that got pardoned.
Wow.
City Hall will be burning Qurans, standing up against the Somali invasion of Minneapolis, the immediate deportation of Ilhan Omar, and the arrest of the scammer Tim Walz.
And what do we have? Him getting his ass kicked by the protesters.
Yay!
Looks like they coated him with something. I'm not sure if that's paint or some kind of milkshake or something. I don't know. They're kicking his ass while he's getting into the car.
Is he riding a Tesla?
Well, that was nice.
I think we need to go digging through to find all these things that you're talking about, because we got to, as a precaution, talk to a lawyer.
Yeah, try to save those messages that they sent you, Purple.
Yeah, I've already turned all that over. Like I said, we already had a legal team on call, so I have already sent the copies of all that to lawyers.
Good. Take screenshots too while you're at it.
Yeah, well, that's why I sent
And
to
we
the
might
lawyers.
need to.
Okay.
We might also find that useful.
Well, I'm not doing anything else with it, and until the lawyers advise me. So.
All right.
That's good.
Oh. On the bright side, I did have a nice day yesterday. Huh?
I did get that video of the cats in Bahawood.
Yeah.
Would you mind if I shared it?
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, please.
By moonlit hearts and broken yawn, they lived asunder sleek and sworn. Face roaring beasts of steel and flame, vacuum demons, thunder's name. 9 lives spent with fearless grace, each one met with steady face. No shield they bore, no sword they drew, yet every battle they saw through. When cats fall brave, they do not fade. They cross where rainbow light is laid. Not as pets, not meek, not small, but warriors bound for Valhalla's hall. Odin nods his ravens cry. Here come hunters of the sky. They stood their ground, tails lifted high. His to fate refused to fly. Loved with claws and guarded sleep. Promises they always keep. Every scar a saga told. Every pearl of gold. In the hall where shields are stacked, they spar at dawn. They nap at black. Fight all day, heal by night. Feast on stars and northern So when you hear a phantom pour, or feel a warmth you never saw, know your cat has not withdrawn. They train with gods until the dawn. Not gone, not lost, not fallen far. They wait in Valhalla just as they are. Not gone, not lost, not fallen far. They wait in Valhalla just as they are.
Nice.
I love how the cat's ears come through the helmet, so they look like
Yeah.
Viking horns.
Yeah, that was good. Oh, and here's a nice little fact to interrupt people trying to argue. Oh, they're just after the immigrants in Minnesota. Well, only about 9% of the population of Minnesota is about 9% of Minnesota's total population is immigrant-born. For comparison, Florida is total population of foreign-born and is about 23%, whereas Texas is about 18.4%. So even if they were just going after the immigrants, they're wasting their time.
Yeah.
And from my understanding, the those who are illegally here is even using far less, like something like around 1 point something%.
Yep. And
They just want confrontation and the excuse to get rough.
yeah, and so far, the ICE agents have shot 2 people, and total they have arrested only 3 people who actually had any criminal records.
Only 3 people with criminal records, yeah.
So they have arrested a couple hundred people, and so far only 3 of them actually had any criminal records that would be cause for them to be arrested.
Yeah.
So yeah, they're just they're just a gang of thugs.
Yeah. And guys that
even not being there is emotionally draining knowing all this is happening.
Well, yeah, it was
I'm
getting
not
to
there.
me. It was getting to me before, just knowing that they were in other states where I had friends, and it just it does hit differently. When they're literally patrolling my own neighborhood and arresting people at stores that I go to.
That's scary.
Yeah. Well, and of course, one of their favorites is Walmart, because the Walmart here, I would say close to 3/4 of the employees are Somali. Because Walmart pays for shit.
They're
They're about
also
the only
going
ones who will take that
after
job.
people from Asian countries.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah, they'll take anyone who's not white. Like I said, that they took in some Latino people working at a Mexican restaurant. It's just, in my particular neighborhood, it's hard to find any Mexicans. And of course, they've got the Home Depot staked out.
But that's only where women come to find their husbands.
It hasn't worked for me.
It doesn't work for them either.
Yeah, but it's like, if they're supposed to be getting rid of, the ones that are violent and the ones that are, sucking off of society, why would they want to arrest the guys who are just hanging around all day hoping that someone will hire them?
Yeah. If they are leeching.
Because an asshole who never picked up a hammer in his life, has no skills in the building trades, believes that he is owed a job he would not be hired for, and even if he was, he would quit the very next day.
After seeing the video some time back of Trump being in a New York bodega, as like a year or two ago, he didn't seem to know how to handle money. From that, I would conclude that he wouldn't know which end of the hammer to hold.
And also, he thinks you need an ID to buy groceries.
Yeah.
He said that in the past.
Yeah, groceries and pharmacies that are words that look like each other, I think. They both enter on C's.
Yeah, well, and off of Trump, but still on the stupid Republicans in general. I forget which senator it was or which representative it was, but they were debating a bill to deal with the housing situation and corporations buying up all the housing, and this asshole was speaking and said that the reason that we are having this problem, that the bill was supposed to rein in corporations but allow for what they phrased as being mom and pop situations of them renting out a home. And he's saying that the average retired person owns between 5 and 12 homes.
That's absolute bullshit.
Huh?
Yeah. This was the argument he was making before Congress.
Lego houses.
That's why we
maybe.
have a housing shortage.
I wish I had it.
No, we don't have a housing shortage.
Yeah.
We have an affordable housing shortage.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
that's what I mean. That but mostly he was trying to make an argument so that anyone who owns less than a dozen buildings would not, would be exempt from the new regulations.
And then I think they should put it to 2 rental properties before you have to not be buying anymore or something like that. I mean, something where one person could do it, but it's not like where I live, there was a slumlord who was from New York City, who went into upstate New York, had a fuck ton of money, bought more than he could. It wasn't horrible when I had a relative die. He offered to pay for the funeral. But he overwhelmed himself with properties. And I was the only one of his tenants, hundreds of tenants, that sue him.
Yeah, and that's something that Minnesota has been trying to rein in for decades, the absentee landlords. Because generally
his son
there
was
isn't
a
a
shark.
problem.
His son was a shark, but the guy who originally bought the properties, I think, overwhelmed himself.
Yeah, just was more than he could handle.
It is a little bit of a dark atmosphere now.
I've been working on some stuff. When I get the desktop up and running, I'm going to start doing more complicated streams again. I created a little segment called "What is the fucking baby going to do?" Today's temper tantrum. I'm sharing something.
Yep.
Yeah, I had some ideas of debunking Trump.
Considering your country decided not to give me the Nobel Peace Prize for having stopped 8 wars plus, I no longer feel an obligation to think purely of peace, although it will always be predominant, but can now think about what is good and proper for the United States of America. Denmark cannot protect that land from Russia or China. And why do they have a right of ownership, anyway? There are no written documents. It's only that a boat landed there hundreds of years ago. But we had boats landing there also. I have done more for NATO than any other person since its founding. And now, NATO should do something for the United States. The world is not secure unless we have complete and total control of Greenland. Thank you. President DJT, 8:31 p.m., Jan 18th, 2026, to 25.6K views.
Yeah, you need to put that in, give it a child's voice.
Yeah.
I can do that.
A baby Trump voice.
Yeah, I've been thinking about doing that with some of his speeches, get some text to AI thing that is a child's voice.
So the U.S. had ships landing in Greenland before the U.S. existed.
Apparently.
Oh, hi there, Jinx. Yeah. Trump cough. Vladimir Trumpkin.
Yeah.
I call him Don Dolph Trumpler.
I again must go back to the headcanon that got me through his first administration. That when he was given the nuclear code, somebody made an occasional typo, so none of them will work.
That would be something.
You know, I mean, does anyone else think that at this point he might be insane enough to actually press the button if he thinks he's losing?
Yeah.
Yes.
Fortunately, it is not that simple.
Yeah, but just that he would try. He would try to obliterate the entire planet before he would admit that he was losing.
Was December 2023. And I told Starsky if Trump won the election within a year, NATO, you have a war with NATO.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, he sent pretty
It's
clear
not
signs.
psychic, it's knowing he's a fucking toddler.
Yep.
Without boundaries, that's what a toddler would do.
Yeah, and now he just includes the U.S. military as one of his toys.
Yeah.
I'm just hoping that when he sends the army into Minnesota, that the commanders will have enough sense to, order all of their troops not to do anything that would hurt the civilians. Because, we had that kind of episode back in the Vietnam War. We don't need to repeat that. When they sent army troops to campuses to quell the protest.
He's just looking for a reason to invoke the Insurrection Act, and if he can't get people to who act violently, he'll make up something to invoke it. Either way, he's going to invoke it eventually here at this point.
Yeah, and that's... Can't the Republicans see how unhinged he is, and see that in all of the polls he is now underwater? So he is not an asset to the party either. So why don't they invoke the 25th Amendment and remove him? And yeah, I know we'll get J.D. Vance, but maybe at least he won't be starting random wars.
He'd have a lot more opposition.
I wonder if a president is removed for what you say, this 25th Amendment, shouldn't his whole administration be removed?
Well, no, in order for the 25th Amendment, his own cabinet has to vote to remove him. His own cabinet basically has to say that he is physically or mentally unfit to be continue to be president.
There is something completely wrong with that amendment then.
I think I have to agree with that.
Well, yeah, the founding fathers never imagined that somebody could rise to that position of power and be this unhinged. They just wrote the amendment for the chance that after somebody was elected, that they, did something mind-bogglingly stupid.
Yeah, there probably should be other ways to invoke that and implement it.
So, correct me if I'm mistaken, but wasn't the 25th Amendment done in the aftermath of the FDR presidency? With the idea that, he shouldn't have been, allowed to have more than 2 terms, and B, if he's physically unable to do the job, which by the end of his last term, arguably polio
ratified in 1967.
Okay.
Okay, so it was ratified during the Vietnam era.
I think that was over Nixon too.
Okay, the 25th Amendment has been used several times, primarily for the temporary transfer of power from medical procedures. Reagan, 1985, Bush 2002 and 2007, and Biden in 2021.
Okay, so I guess the most recent medical issue people would have had in mind would have been Kennedy, being.
Okay, but Section 4, involuntary removal, has never been invoked.
Yeah, and had it been in place in the time of Kennedy, then that transfer of power might have been invoked had he been in a coma for a while.
Yeah, I was checking because I didn't know either. When it had been ratified, I didn't know how far back it went. But I can see what some earlier presidents where it might have been used. Particularly Lyndon B. Johnson at the end of his term. That his health was definitely failing.
Yeah.
Hello, Demon Orb.
Do they stamp the amendments with rodents? I don't know. Why would they use rodents?
I don't understand it.
Yeah, I don't understand the comment.
Maybe it's trying to tie things back to Squirrel Day.
Yeah, and it looks like we've got a troll in the side chat.
This time we need to stick to this the subject. Squirrel. Oh, it's ratified. That it's mean.
They're ratified.
Ratified. Okay.
Okay, that you definitely get a sloth for that one.
Yeah, that's a sloth.
Yeah.
Sorry, my brain's too slow today. I didn't put it together.
Ivy typed that she lost her mind, but nobody wants to help looking for it.
Do I have to put up the Pinky and the Brain cartoon again?
Yeah, that gets a good 3 sloths from me.
Oh.
And to the troll.
Well, the troll hasn't been too bad yet. The troll has just said you're wasting your time watching us.
So doesn't that mean
they didn't word it as politely, but that's what it meant.
So doesn't that mean they're also wasting their time watching us?
Yeah, well, they are really wasting their time if they have nothing better to do than to come in here and tell people they're wasting their time.
If we're wasting our time, then and you think we're wasting our time, then what the fuck are you doing here watching us if you think we're wasting our time?
Yep.
Hi,
Who's more
Tori.
foolish? Who's more foolish, the fool or the fool who follows?
Oh, yeah.
Would literally refuse about $200 or $300 to make it and be on a channel that I'm not going to talk about, but Purple Moose, because the hangout was worth that kind of money for me.
Yeah. Hey, Tori. Oh. And if Lone Wanderer, if you're listening, yeah, we've had below 0 temperatures, so I have been using the Snuggly again at nights in here, and it's been rather chilly today. Maybe it's not actually any chillier in here today, and maybe it's just that I was working out in the cold so much yesterday that I haven't been able to warm up again.
I should really get myself one of those.
So now I forget how many years ago Lone Wanderer sent that to me, but yeah, it gets used every year. And Sammy-san likes it. Sammy-san seems to love the texture of that when he's laying in my lap.
Huh. Well, it's been cold here, or as you'd refer to it, as a beautiful spring day.
Yeah, well, I was okay, but like I say, then yesterday I was running around and picking up a bunch of stuff at different places and just spent too much time in the cold loading things up. And some of those got to be projects because some of them then we had to. I picked up a radial arm saw, and just to get it in the van, we had to, pretty much dismantle everything because it wasn't going to fit. So we had to, break it down into several pieces and dismantle all the legs and everything.
Yeah.
And then we had another pickup that we still can't figure out how they initially got it in there because the thing was actually wider than either of the doors into the room. So we had to dismantle it just to get it through the doors and just to get it out of the room it was in. Then again, I have left things like that behind at some of the places I've lived in. Because I have had like entertainment systems that I built that were built inside the room. So there was no way anybody was going to get those out of there without completely taking them apart.
I knew somebody who had a couch in their room, and they put the couch in before the doors and everything were put up. So after the room was actually constructed, they couldn't get the couch back out.
Yes. Yeah, if they did it before they put the door frames in, and then the doorways became a few inches narrower.
Yeah.
I had something similar. I had a couch that I have put in, and that I couldn't get out anymore after I did the renovation of my house. So we just got a big electric repro saw, and we sawed it into pieces and then threw it away.
Douglas Adams, along with The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, he wrote a book called Dirk Gentry's Holistic Detective Agency.
Oh, I know.
And The Long Dark Tea Time of the Soul.
Yep.
We watched that.
Yeah, well, there was a part in there about a couch that was stuck on a stairway. because they
yeah, I
couldn't turn
read
it.
it.
You know, and the people who left it there insisted that when they had brought it in, there had been a doorway on that landing that was no longer there.
Yeah, I have read that book.
But this actually tied in with a Doctor Who episode where there was another Time Lord called the Professor because he was posing as a college professor posing as a professor at this college. So the extra doorway.
I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of Doctor Who things that were based on Douglas Adams' thing.
Oh yeah, no. Douglas Adams, before he wrote Hitchhiker's Guide, he had been a script editor for Doctor Who.
Yeah, he wrote. Yeah, he wrote a lot of the Fourth Doctor.
Yeah. So that there are bits in his things that tied in, but in the Doctor Who episode, the door to the professor's office was his time machine. Was his TARDIS.
Oh.
So that's why the doorway disappeared from that building when his TARDIS moved.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there's a couple of things in there in Douglas Adams' writings that tie into a couple of Doctor Who episodes.
Well, yes, but keep in mind that the door was actually connected to another time machine owned by a college, not a professor. I forget what he was.
Okay. Guess I'm not remembering the Doctor Who episode real accurately because it was...
Well, no, I'm just remembering...
quite a long time ago.
Dirk Gently's Holistic Detective Agency. It's like...
Yep.
There's a college employee that owns a time machine that runs off an abacus, and he's like... He accidentally takes the door to a planet just to get, like, some powder to hide the fact that he did it to pull a parlor trick. And an electric monk walks through with a horse. I'm just waiting for the electric monk. I need a device that believes things for me.
Yep.
Some students telling me, it's like, I really need to do this. It's like, go tell it to the monk. He'll believe you. It's like, I don't.
Yeah, well, that's what the electric monks were invented for, to believe things you don't have time to believe.
Oh, yeah, the electric monks.
Athena,
you
know
would
the
tell
rules.
the electric monk anything, and he would always reply with, I believe you.
Yeah.
Athena, you know the rules. If you're going to be up here, you need to be on camera. Well, there is no need to show your butt, Athena. That's optional.
No, it's mandatory for a cat.
It is part of a cat's greeting.
Hello, my human slaves. Here's my ass.
For a cat not to show their butt when they're greeting someone would be the equivalent of a person making a formal introduction without offering to shake hands.
But why do we do that anyway? I hate shaking hands.
I think it started as a form of showing you're unarmed.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah, it was showing that you didn't hold any weapons. Hey. Oh, I hit back. So yeah.
Athena knows the purpose of camera technology is to take cat pictures.
Yeah. Well, that's what the internet was created for.
There's another thing it was created for.
Porn.
Yeah.
You know that the only persons on YouTube who are real are cats. I didn't get it for myself. It was Cheshire Cat who says that the only things on YouTube who are real are cats.
Well, wait a minute. Wouldn't that mean that you're a cat? So why are you giving it away?
No, I mean everyone pretends to be someone else. There's no real names, and only cats are real.
I am sure by now somebody has started a site called Only Cats.
Oh, but they're already. Every time I see my cat laying in some completely idiotic pose, sleeping, I put it on Twitter, Cats of Twitter, and I get lots of likes.
How do you know
Oh.
I'm not?
Yes, we got onlycats.com, onlycats.pics.
Yep.
Of course.
Onlycats.oc.
How do you know I'm not a real porpoise? I even have the correct skin color.
Yeah, but your nostrils aren't up on your forehead.
I'm sensitive about that.
Sorry, it was a birth defect. I shouldn't pick on it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Ooh, taking that lanyard off feels so much better.
But I had a good day yesterday, despite all the hassles and that everything took 3 times as long as it was supposed to. Just because I had Molly's son coming with me to help me load, and our versions of autism are so similar that we just have a lot of fun together, just conversations.
Sounds like me and the software engineer friend I have. Of course, we're both computer science nerds, so that helps.
So makes
Mm-hmm.
You were saying,
Go ahead.
Commander?
makes it a lot harder to communicate in a way that catches a lot of people's attention because the brain literally works in a different way.
Yep.
Than the average.
I've seen multiple studies on this, and people say autistic people are hard to communicate with, and then I've seen other studies that say autistic people can communicate fine with other autistic people.
That is true.
Yeah, well, that's what I've seen from several autistic creators online, that, yeah, they have no problem talking to each other. It's just talking to neurotypical people that's the issue.
I almost think that should be a way of diagnosing it. Just bring in someone else who's autistic and see how the person gets along with them.
Well, there are definitely autistic people I'm not going to get along with.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, I had told everybody before that, when I first got diagnosed and I started talking about it in the Lego group I belong to, that within 6 months, 7 of the 9 people in that group got diagnosed with it.
That makes sense for Lego.
I can't imagine.
Well, and it really explains some things about when we were trying to do trades.
I can't imagine.
If you have 2 autistics trying to do a trade, both of them are worried about, getting the right balance of, not wanting to ask too much and take advantage of the person, but also not wanting to get shortchanged. So the trades generally just kind of freeze in a weird silence for a long time.
I can't imagine that the Lego spaces will be full of autistic people. Next, you're going to tell me that there's neurotypical people are overrepresented in STEM.
Yeah.
I was trying to think of a world where being autistic is the norm and being neurotypical is the aberration.
That would be STEM. Honestly, I think a lot of the early gaming problems were because a lot of neurotypical people were moving into spaces that had been dominated by autistic people with a different set of rules.
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, with the Legos and autistics, it reminded me of another product that Lego is producing that not a lot of people have heard about yet. But Lego now makes bricks in Braille. Because on a 4x8 brick, or a 2x4 brick that's got normally 8 studs on top, just by having different patterns of the studs and flat spots, basically making some bricks that have smooth areas in place of some of the studs, they can produce the entire Braille alphabet on those bricks. So you can now buy Braille alphabet sets of Lego. And they have even done multiple versions, so that there's one version for English language and one version for French language. Just the parts based on the frequency of letter usage for each language.
Oh, yeah.
So I just thought that was a cool product that not many people know about.
Hmm.
In fact,
$89.99.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I was just about to go and look if I had a picture of it.
I'll pull it up.
Yeah, that's if you've got a website pulled up for it already.
I got the Lego website.
Yep.
Braille bricks.
Yep.
Cool.
I just thought that was so cool that, so blind children can read things on Lego.
So we got English, Spanish, French, English, Spanish, and French.
Okay, yeah, I knew that there was the English and the French, and I thought there was another one, but I don't know why I didn't think of it being Spanish, of course.
But do they have it in ASCII or Unicode?
I actually don't know what Unicode is.
Doesn't ASCII only have 7 binary digits?
8 usually, but it depends on how it's represented internally. But you can represent 256 characters with ASCII. Unicode is designed to represent all the international characters.
Okay, yeah, I think it's just the ASCII then. Because that's why they have
that
multiple
book
versions.
that came with the dot matrix printer wasn't a standard ASCII then.
Well, you could represent. Well, you use 128 characters, like just for normal typing, and that was usually represented as an sign. Yeah, a sign bit, which means you can only represent 128 with that. But if they extended ASCII, used 8 bits, so you could represent 256, and it was unsigned.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's just the way C compilers work.
Okay, so it's okay.
Well, I'm familiar with
known
ASCII
that, I would have been able to make a driver.
Yeah, the ASCII and the extended ASCII are what all the 8-bit computers had used for obvious reasons, that everything could be displayed in 8 bits.
Eight-bit just refers to the bus width. If you're thinking of Nintendo, that actually refers to the graphics card. Like our modern computers are 64-bit and have a 64-bit bus. Speaking of obscure things about bus width, are you all prepared for the year 2038 problem?
No, I haven't heard about this one.
You would have to be a computer nerd to really understand. Because it has to do with like the dates being stored in 32 bits on Unix. And most of our systems are 64-bit now, so it's probably not going to be that big a deal.
Well, you were talking about bus widths, so I thought that in that year all the streets were going to get narrower and the transit couldn't get through.
Okay, that gets a sloth.
Wait, you're assuming World War III isn't going to start by then? Because I've been collecting bottle caps after watching Trump.
Or it never changes, and it's usually started by someone stupid who wants something he can't have or shouldn't have. It never changes.
Yeah, whenever somebody tells Trump no, he just gets enraged and wants to fight. Well,
Yes.
he never wants to fight. He wants to send somebody else to fight.
But you don't understand. I want it.
Yep. Well, he did at one time say that he required Greenland for his own mental health. Nobody understood what he meant by that.
That means he wants it, and he has bad fees if he doesn't have what he wants. But he doesn't actually need it.
Yep.
And if you object to that, you're woke.
Well,
Okay.
you also heard that last week he declared himself acting president of Venezuela.
El Presidente.
Commander, I'm not sure it's on your end or my end, and it might be on mine, but you have a crackling.
No, it's
Yeah,
Commander.
Yeah, Commander's
Yeah.
crackling a bit.
Yeah, we're all
Sorry.
hearing it.
I don't know. I probably shouldn't bring it up, but it's kind of.
I think it's the transatlantic cable.
Better than it is when we first started.
Yeah, good enough.
Well, see, actually, the problem is that Commander is having trouble with the Netherlands having a computer powerful enough to generate his presence. Or her presence, I'm terribly sorry.
I was going to say.
Yep.
If you
This
see
was
her,
one of the great things about Molly's son is he was accidentally reminded point that I wasn't born female, and it's, you know, like kind of grossed him out. You know, just in a good way, that he's just always regarded me as a woman, so just thinking of me any other way is difficult for him.
Okay. Yeah, it's odd, the kind of things that humans find icky. And
Yeah,
we seem to have lost Commander.
I don't know if I've mentioned it online, but I finally got my packet of stuff I have to fill out for the University of Minnesota, because the insurance company has approved it again. Second insurance company that's approved it now. So I am back on the schedule for getting my bottom surgery.
Oh, cool.
But it won't be until after Thanksgiving.
I should really.
Because that's how far out the surgeon is scheduled.
I was going to say, I hope I didn't chase Commander off. It's just she's probably hopefully she's trying to fix it on.
Yeah, she's probably trying to see if there's anything she can do with her audio settings.
Commander is usually a little bit staticky anyway, so
yeah,
it's just the connection.
And she's dealing with a VPN, which
what the heck?
Yeah, muddles things up.
What?
Oh, I think Ethan's just trying to, get Sammy to play.
Oh,
but
cat shenanigans.
Yeah, well, just something I've never seen before was that instead of running, he was doing like a hopping thing that, just all 4 feet, just jumping up and moving over a couple inches.
I've seen cats do that.
Yeah, I've seen that.
I've seen other cats do that. I haven't seen Ethan do that before. So yeah, I think he was just like teasing Sammy and daring him to attack him.
I've also seen cats do that right off of the.
I hope this is
ledge.
better.
I think that was on my headset, so that wasn't your fault.
You're good, Commander.
Yeah, don't worry about it.
And I wasn't sure it wasn't on my end.
Yep.
Well, I think it was mine because the computer is running hot, and as soon as the desktop is working, I should have taken it apart and treated it better during transport.
Speaking of which, I need to dust my computer out soon.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, I should do
I've
that
got to take the
myself.
case off and blow the air through,
Because
get
of
all the dust out of it.
For some reason, my computer seems to get a lot of cat hair in it. You wouldn't know anything
Yeah.
about that, would you?
I wonder how that would happen.
I have the same issue that I periodically have to open up my trackball and get all the cat hair out of it.
Yeah, I got
It's okay. You're a good kitty.
for the graphic stuff for the Freedom Ring project. I wasn't sure if I was gonna do that on my old Mac, my old iMac that has Canvas on it, or if I was gonna do it on an older Windows machine that has SolidWorks. And that question was answered when I tried to plug in my old Windows machine after years and years, and the power supply fried.
I'm sorry, but there's just one thing I don't understand here.
Yes.
That whole scenario didn't make any sense because there was no Linux option.
But Porpoise, I'm working on that. My next computer will most likely have like Linux Mint on it.
No, but for creative work, Mac is usually the best. So I won't fall into a creative type that's using Mac OS.
Yeah,
it is at least Windows 10, so it's Unix based.
Well, there is a basic.
Well, the Mac OS is Unix based, but Windows 10 isn't.
I'm sorry.
I am not
OS
willing to get Windows 12.
I've been
It will
avoiding
switch
Windows
to
11.
Linux before then.
I've been on Windows 11 for a while. Until Linux becomes really viable for gaming, which it's almost there, you're kind of stuck with using Windows.
And you got Jeff Bezos trying to say that we'll just rent the gaming machines with everything running on the cloud.
Yeah, no one wants that.
Yeah.
So
well,
Porpoise, I should clarify. Yeah, I was talking about the Mac having Mac OS 10.
I mean, that's a Linux-based system, so we'll let it go.
Yeah.
Okay.
That particular Mac had started with OS 9.
But even without it, it's like Mac OS still has better creative software. It's like the iPad.
Yeah. Two things here. One, another reason to go to Linux is because, of course, a percentage always goes to the Penguin Army. That's why anytime you use Linux, there's a penguin watching.
What? Okay. What's the other one?
The other one is there seems to be a basic flaw in Mac computers because they never work right after you add the cheese.
Oh, mac and cheese.
I might have that tonight.
I'm not.
It was a cheesy joke.
So, for some strange reason, sorry.
I managed to get through fifth hour without needing to take ibuprofen today, but thanks to Purple, I'm now going to need it.
Oh, I'm just struggling to stay awake here. I have not been sleeping well ever since the ice agents showed up in Minnesota.
Well, the joke could have been Gouda.
Commander was trying to say something.
Yes, Commander.
Oh, OBS, when I cut OBS off, my CPU usage went from 70-something% down to 17.
I'm not surprised.
Yeah, that. I've noticed. OBS seemingly being resource hungry.
Yeah, I've been thinking of going to that replacing the operating system on my computers with the Tiny 10 or maybe the Tiny 11. But I've been trying to find somebody else who's been using it just to see, if it really works as well as it's advertised.
Well, if you do get it, and if you know if you live anywhere close to Jenny, put it on her computer that I sent her so she doesn't have to connect to her.
Windows. Yeah. Wait, Tiny Windows 10 is Windows LTSC. It has no advertisements in it. It has no bloatware in it, and it is supported until 2032. But it has its limitations because not every game will run on Windows LTSC because before you have added some quite some DLLs and stuff.
I'm guessing Purple isn't really a big gamer, but I could be wrong.
No, the online games I do play tend to be turn-based games.
Oh, are they? Do you actually have to download software to play them, or are they just like web browser games?
They're ones I'm playing through Steam.
Oh, okay.
So as long as Steam will run on it, I should be fine.
Well,
I have just installed. I got a laptop from a friend of mine. And the only thing it had done wrong, it needed a new battery, but I installed Zorin OS on it. And that has Steam in it.
Oh, is that Steam OS or is that Linux-based?
No. It supports Steam. You can download Steam itself, and then a lot of Steam's games seem to play on it. But yeah, I don't play games, so I cannot say if it's true. But this operating system is really it's amazing. It has a little bit the middle between Windows 7 and Windows 10, and it works on practically every computer or laptop. I have an old laptop that has an i3 or in it. I have an old laptop that has an AMD double core in it, and it just works, and it is fast.
Yeah, well, I was looking at the Tiny 10 just because, not having all the bloatware and not having the Microsoft spyware in it.
Yeah, I have it I had it installed on lots of PCs for others, but now I'm really with this disaster that is called Windows 11 developing. Mm-hmm. I'm really thinking of it to say bye-bye to Windows in total.
Okay, it is actually Linux and Unix based. Linux and Ubuntu based.
The machine that he has behind him is I think it's Windows 11, but I bought it when you could use it without signing into a Windows account, Microsoft account.
Want to see it?
Might be Windows 10. I'm not 100% sure.
Oh, I don't have to sign into a Microsoft account for my Windows 11.
Yeah, I don't either.
Want to see her computer, what I did to it? I hope it works. No, it works. Yep. It doesn't work.
But yeah, Zorin OS has a desktop designed to look like Windows.
And now you will see it.
Thanks to all this shit from the...
Do you see it?
guy.
Hold on, I'm going to make you bigger.
Arms, that video card is now worth as much as I paid for it.
This motherboard has something. It runs perfectly until you tapped to it. So I have now, and then it was just black. Now I have all kind of things over it. So it is absolutely rigid. And now we'll see if it works. And if it works, I will even put it on a slab of concrete so we can put it on the ground, and then it's secure, because that's the only way to keep this thing running. And it runs like crazy, but don't touch it. And that is, must be something wrong with the main board. I don't know. But yeah, I never had this before, but
Yeah, I threw it in a suitcase because I was asked not to bring the original case.
No, and
which
because you
weighed about 20 kilos in and of itself. The entire thing weighed about 25 kilos before the
if I had known that you had this big suitcase on wheels, I would say throw it in it incomplete, because I thought you were having a like a backpack or something. But yeah, it happened, and now I have made this thing. I hope I can get it to run and that it stays running.
So computers do get quite hot, if that's what you're talking about. And I think it wouldn't be all that unusual given that Commander does video stuff as well.
Yeah, but this is not running hot. I had it running here for 3 days, and then I, by accident, touched it. That something moved, and the image went black.
it's repeatable.
Yeah.
And I can repeat
And
it.
Windows also did something to it with an update where all of a sudden it started crashing and crashing and crashing.
Well, that's just
and
Windows.
It wouldn't stop
But this
crashing
is
until
it is not running on
we
Windows now.
removed one of the RAM cards. And then once we figured out which slot was bad,
that would
stopped crashing and crashing, but it was still sensitive.
That can happen, but that's not due to the Windows update. But if you just tell me,
I have just Windows 10 on it. I have a completely castrated Windows 10 on it, and the original system is not driving on it.
We seem to be having two different conversations going at once here.
But if you tell me Windows is crashing and crashing and crashing after update, I'm going to say that's just Windows, because Microsoft is known for doing that kind of crap.
But this is just, this thing stops with trembles. It is not just do like this. What I do on
I'm thinking. I
get my camera on again.
I have a hypothesis on this.
If I do this, like on my microphone, on the computer, something moves and it gets black.
Yep.
Well, maybe you shouldn't do that.
I have a hypothesis.
That's why I have this construction behind it, because every stuff is now really.
And for proper cooling, you should also have it in a case.
It has nothing to do with the cooling. It does it whenever, if you start it up and you tick against it, black screen. But if you don't touch it, it works. It keeps working. But when you kick the table, it stops working.
But for proper cooling, I'm just telling you, you should have the computer in a case designed to cool it.
I have a hypothesis dealing with the electronics that if the computer had been running too hot before, it's possible that it could have softened some of the solder joints, so they may have cracked or just pulled away from the board very slightly.
Well,
probably.
If you
Actually, when I had it, it wasn't running hot when I was regularly using it.
With the motherboard,
and it hadn't been started up.
Solder connections. Try to find that.
Were you touching?
Hasn't worked right since for more than a year.
Were you touching the computer when it was running?
Yeah.
Were you touching the? Hold on. Were you touching the insides of the computer when it was running?
No.
It doesn't. It is when it has an impact of something.
Okay.
Because I did it with a wooden spoon, not to
Let's go back.
There is something broken in it.
And answer the yes or no question. Were you touching the insides of the computer when it was running?
Yeah.
Yeah, don't do that.
Yeah, and I have done that.
Don't do that.
No, and
hundreds of
still does it when I plug in a drive into the USB.
It's not a good idea. It can damage the computer, especially. Sorry, go ahead.
This is a mechanical problem. There is something like one thing, like a contact that is not good. But as long as I keep it with force in the, it should be good.
Go ahead, Commander.
I plugged in a USB drive and it stopped working. It's that level of sensitivity where you're not touching anything that's inside it, but just plugging in a USB drive.
Ned, let me finish for a second. It's possible, and I'm not saying this is the case, that you had an issue where static discharge damaged.
Absolutely not.
Let me finish.
No, absolutely not. You can say what you want. This is something, even if I hit the
Thank
table.
you for letting me finish.
Yeah, but it isn't this.
It is
not with this thing.
Okay, Ned, just be patient and let
I'm sorry.
Porpoise finish what
I
she was
built
saying.
like 1,000 computers, and I never had like this thing, a thing like this.
It is possible, I'm not saying that's what happened here, that there's some sort of static discharge did something to one of the wires, and that's causing the issue.
I think it's just the motherboard is just broken in some place, and that with putting it together is to get the print break to each other.
I see what Ned's saying, and that would be a possibility, yeah. That one of the traces on the circuit board.
But I'm also saying just don't touch a computer while it's hours running through it.
Can you imagine how screwed we'd be if cat hair conducted electricity better?
Wow. And I mean, I know all these things, and we just had we were busy with, and we just crossed everything off. It is just, even when it touch it with a.
I mean, it's possible.
It's just wood. It stops. It is just a movement that stops it.
It's possible. It's just a defective part too.
Yeah, and that's why I want to prevent anything from moving. And if this works, we just put a case over it. Bill will build a case on it, and I put it on something like a concrete tile. I just glue it on there, and we'll put it under the table so nothing can ever move it, and then it should run. It is just to try it, and if we don't try, these motherboards are way expensive. It has a Ryzen something with 32 cores on it. It is. I don't have the money to replace it. It is worth a try.
128 gigs of RAM, although we cannot use that fourth slot because it just refuses. It just keeps crashing with that much RAM because Windows, they did something to it. And after that, the more RAM you use, the more likely it was to crash.
Hold on.
It is not a crash. It is not. It does not show a crash. It is just poop, black screen. Everything is out. It completely switches off.
All right,
it's
that's
gone.
what I thought.
And then I have to restart it, and then it restarts, but it is just black. It's gone.
Okay, see, that's just severe night mode.
It's just a weird computer. And that's why I made this silly setup to try to make it that nothing in this thing can move. And now we will just try. If it works, it works. If it doesn't work, we have to see a new motherboard.
But a couple years ago, someone came to me with a bunch of old computers, and one was really dusty, and I could not tell if any lights were on.
I had them. And mainly of smokers. Hey,
hold on.
Smokers, these are worse.
Let me finish the story. It was plugged in, and I took the motherboard out because I thought it was off.
Oh.
Ooh.
It wasn't. Now, it was an old computer, so it didn't matter that much, but that motherboard got fried.
Yeah.
Yeah, I bet.
Just random sparks jumping across the connections.
I mean, I got lucky, but it's like... It was just that dusty.
Yeah, I take every precautions. I have, and I have earthed myself to everything. I have these special gloves to make this is not get static electricity through it. But this thing is just weird, and it fits because I am weird.
Yeah.
I have weird stuff here.
Purple's right. It could be like a loose wire somewhere or bad soldering.
Yeah, I'm going to have to open mine up and take the little vacuum attachments to it. I know it's going to be full of cat hair again.
Really.
Or it could just be a bad part.
Yeah.
Oh, we replaced everything. It is the main board.
It might be a fault on the main board too. Or it could just...
I tried every memory. I tried I tried different video adapters.
Did you look at...
I couldn't replace is the processor because I don't have it.
Well, let's go to some of the really basic stuff. You said the video's going out?
No, it completely stops. Everything stops.
Stop shouting at me. Thank you.
Everything stops.
Stop shouting at me. Thank you.
It is like you pull the plug. Pop. Wait. Gone.
All right. So the power goes off. All right.
It completely stops. The screen was black. Everything stops. The cooler stops and everything stops.
That sounds like something in the power supply then.
Yeah.
No. Tried it with a different power supply. Was the same.
Okay, so then it may be one of the main traces that goes from the power supply into the board.
Nope.
Yeah. Could be the wire. I don't know.
It is the board itself.
Could be the wires. Could be the connection where the board connects to the power supply.
Well, or you know what Ned said too. It could be that there's a microscopic crack in one of the traces on the board.
That would be hard to detect, and that would mean.
And I think it's a crack in the soldering, and if you put pressure on it and you keep this pressure on it, then it can't move.
Yep.
Then it stays working, and it
I think
make it so solid that no trembling can stop it anymore.
But considering that replacing the motherboard is expensive, and if it's working otherwise, if you know how to get it to work, I wouldn't buy anything new right now either. So.
Yeah, you found a way to make it stable, so use it as it is.
Yeah, that is the way. With it to make it stable, to keep it say earthquake proof. I hope it works.
Does the Netherlands get a lot of earthquakes? I don't know.
Yeah, they do have it, but it is not geo thing earth vault. It is because of the gas we pumped out of the air out of the ground, and now the ground is setting there under.
Oh, fracking.
Yeah.
No, not fracking. Just natural gas that came from the ground from like through kilometers deep. But this bubble seems to reset itself, and that's why they stopped the gas producing in that country, because houses got cracks in it. No, the cracking is absolutely. There was someone who said we should start fracking, and the country was so against it that the politicians didn't even dare to walk on the street. So they voted that away. This doesn't happen here.
Well, I was going to say, I didn't know how geologically active the Netherlands were, but parts of the Midwest are more geologically active than you'd think, because like the New Madrid fault is here.
Yeah.
We don't have a fault line. What do we do to have two volcanoes?
Well, we tend not to get big ones, but we get very small ones.
And these we have is 4,000 kilometers under the ground. They're from 900 million years ago or something, or 9 million years ago, or 90. I don't know.
But fracking has caused earthquakes as well.
Yeah, I know. But that is because that is what fracking does. This was just a gas bubble that it was pumped empty. And I, frankly, to be honest, I always thought, wouldn't that collapse on the ground? Like this salt mining, they pump water under the ground and you get these really big empty chambers. Yep. Wouldn't that collapse on some time?
I had been wondering about that when I lived in Syracuse, because under the entire city, they had been salt mining for so long that there were chambers that they had cut out for them to drive literal dump trucks through. And not just the dump trucks you see on the street, the mining trucks.
Yeah.
The ones that are like 3 stories mining. Tall.
Hey, that is strip mining at Harlingen.
In the ones that you could fit a house in?
Yep.
Hey, in Harlingen, we have salt domes under the air. There is just, they drilled into the ground. They pump water in it, and then they get the salt up. There's no truck. It just comes like with water out of the ground. And I think that can't be good.
My unfinished journey, I think that's actually a better question to ask Commander. But I would say either a Ryzen 7 if you can afford it, or Ryzen 7 at least, or an Intel Core i7, especially if you're doing other stuff with it. But honestly, if you're streaming like StreamYards, that's usually not a lot on your processor. That's handled by their servers.
Yeah, I've managed to run StreamYard when I've been traveling on an old laptop that's still running Windows 8.
Now, if you're doing video game streaming, yeah, you're going to want the best processor you can get and the best graphics card you can get.
Now, this graphics card is more expensive than my car.
Yeah. These days, the best graphics card you can afford is probably a piece of cardboard from a cereal box.
Thanks, AI companies.
Got more expensive because of the AI forms. Yep. I mean, literally, I paid about $1,200 for that graphics card, and now I could probably get about $3,000 for it.
This is not the first time graphics cards have really spiked, because they did the same thing with the
Bitcoin mining.
Yeah.
Cryptocurrency mining. Hopefully it'll go back down, because I think there are a lot of people who think like AI is at a bubble and it's about to collapse.
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
That is something that you guys might be possible to complain to me. What was the .com bubble?
The .com bubble was a lot of like internet startup companies around 2001, where they're starting all these like .com companies. Everyone got it on the initial floor and sold it off because they weren't really interested in the company succeeding. It was speculating.
And what was that? What is the bubble that confuses me?
The bubble is when I think the bubble refers to when the market pops. It's like the bubble pops. It's like it's really inflated.
More of these bubbles now.
Everything is insanely overvalued. People were giving themselves like stock options. The companies want worth. They were basically paying people in company stock.
And
because they had no money.
Those who made money sold their stock before people realized they weren't worth anything.
Yeah, then when they found out what the companies were actually worth, people were just left with a handful of worthless paper.
I heard it like you had the mortgages bubble, you had the housing bubble, and what bubble stuff that was. I was wondering what it was about.
Well, the housing bubble was about 7 years later.
Yeah, and again, it's just that people were speculating, so they were buying houses at much higher prices than what the houses were actually worth.
It's actually something
we'll talk about it. I will explain it.
It's actually something that's explained fairly well by the Austrian School of Economics. Go ahead, Commander.
My mom was pre-approved for a $480,000 reverse amortization interest-only loan while being on Social Security disability getting a $1,200 check every month.
No, that is
And
not-
since
that is-
everyone could borrow a $500,000 because they changed the rules on borrowing, everything was worth a $500,000. But there was a roof to this thanks to property taxes. And went up to the new roof ceiling for market fundamentals, stayed there for 2 years, and then the introductory periods reset, and people no longer had that reverse amortization interest only, and then they started defaulting. It was stupidity on steroids.
Must be.
My mom was on Social Security, disability, and she got approved for a loan of almost $500,000, and her monthly check was about $1,200 a month. And that's because little Georgie decided we didn't need banking regulations anymore. The FDIC could insure loans now that they would have never touched back when we had sanity. So they basically said, we will insure loans that we know are bad. The banks then were willing to issue loans they knew were bad because they were insured. Not only that, but they could then sell those loans, cut them up into bits and pieces and sell them so no one could figure out what the fuck they were. So they no longer had to hold on to loans they knew were bad. And if only one person was doing it, the system could have survived. But everyone else was doing it. So they took 80 pounds of gold and mixed it with shot. And then it became mostly shit. And then it collapsed because the introductory periods expired.
Yeah, bubble just means it's overinflated and it's about to burst, generally. And I don't know if you saw anyone else saw this story, but NVIDIA was saying it's like people shouldn't negatively view AI. The backlash is unreasonable. It's like I kind of agree with them, but it's like the CEOs have earned their backlash because there's a lot more to AI than just generative AI.
Yeah. Yes and no, I'd have to say.
And isn't NVIDIA investing in AI companies? And then those AI companies are buying NVIDIA chips?
Well, right now,
the money that NVIDIA invested?
I'm not entirely sure. I think that's probably right. I think you've probably noticed that a bunch of tech companies are putting AI into everything, even if people don't want it.
Yeah, like Windows 11.
Windows 11, Adobe Premiere, the Adobe Cloud.
The Pentagon.
Yeah. And have you heard that Windows 12 will be totally subscription based?
Yeah,
you can't even buy it. You have to have a subscription.
That's not the first time they floated that, and it hasn't worked so far.
No, it won't work.
It might work for businesses because honestly, it makes sense that for a business would want to subscribe to Adobe Cloud and get updates every year.
I mean, for Microsoft, for Windows 11.
Yeah, I'm saying it would make sense. It makes sense for businesses, like if they use the model they use for Visual Studio, where if you want, the average user can download and use Visual Studio for free. I don't know why they would. There's much better programming tools, but if you want to use Visual Studio to produce software for a certain number of users, then you have to start paying for a license.
Yeah, but I mean for an operating system.
Yeah, it would be the same model, I'm guessing. I hope.
No, I already heard. I watched a lot of videos, but this can, if they keep going this way, Microsoft could be in 2 or 3 years. It could be just one of the operating systems instead of the leading operating system.
Well, Microsoft's attempts to do this, it's not the first time they floated this. It's always been incredibly unpopular.
Yeah.
But I think businesses might go for it. The end user wouldn't.
The only thing good of my Windows 10 is that in Windows 10 they brought it back that if you have a hard drive that you have installed on an Asus computer, Asus or whatever, and you put it into an Acer computer, it still runs. And with XP and Windows 7, that would absolutely not work. It loaded the new drivers, and you have to restart it once, and it runs. But when you did that with XP, it was ruined. Yeah. It is, for me, it is like if I can, in Steam, if I can get FaceRig working in Steam in Linux, then I'm gone. Then I'm just deleting this Windows from, but that's the only reason I use Windows, for the animation of Ivy.
And you can get, I mean, the main issue with Steam and Linux right now is a lot of games still don't support Linux.
Steam that's why I hope this will work in this Windows layer that Steam has. And if it works, then because I'm not a gamer, so games don't interest me at all. But because FaceRig, that is this thing that makes 2D animations work with motion tracking. That's how I use Ivy.
Have you tried running?
This is the first time I'm trying it, because this is the first time I see Steam in.
Let me finish before you answer. Have you tried running it on a virtual machine?
No, I tried, but it is so fucking difficult to get this virtual machine connected that I can use it in my video editor, because then I have to do it with network connections, and it is just. Ugh.
I would recommend either having like a sandbox PC that, if you have the money, and just trying to get it to run Linux there before switching.
Yeah, but that's why the gray laptop is for, to see if I can get it to work. So I don't ruin anything of my own PC. When that works and I can repeat it, then Windows is out of the door.
Now, I had a bunch of squirrel pictures from several years ago, but I'm not going to say why. Also, the university I go to, the people treat the squirrels like their pets. They will come up and eat out of your hand.
Have you been in Mexico City? Have you seen this castle Chapultepec? That is on a mountain. That is a Spanish castle, and when you walk up there are millions of squirrels that just walk with you and hope you throw something to it, because they're absolutely not afraid of you.
I don't think squirrels being unafraid of people on university campuses is unusual at all, though. It's like,
but
yeah, the question is,
hey, can we get something? Can we get something?
The question is, if there are like 100,000 squirrels, should you be afraid of them?
Yeah.
Well, if the squirrels all want food, the squirrels are begging for food and you don't have any.
Well, I'll feel a lot safer around them after I have my nuts removed.
And with this guy, come on, this guy that made this porch pirate packages that with
Yeah.
What is his name?
Yeah, the exploding glitter bombs and that.
Yeah, but he made an because he had the squirrels always stealing his the food from his bird feeder.
Bird feeders,
he
yeah.
made some kind of obstacle course for the squirrels, and it was really amazing to see that what they did.
I've seen a bunch of those. It had become real fad on the internet for a couple of years.
Yeah.
And it was amazing to see, just how much the squirrels could figure out. That some of these had 24 mechanisms that they had to do in the correct order to get to the nuts.
Have you ever seen that? I mean, it's an old joke. I'm sure you've seen it, where a guy and his hunting dog go to heaven, and the St. Peter's like, "Oh yeah, they'll have squirrel hunting like," and the guy's like, asked St. Peter's like, "Why are the squirrels here if this is heaven?" It's like, "Oh, this isn't their heaven. They know that bird feed wasn't for them."
Yeah, coincidentally, in active efficiency, the dog heaven also happens to be squirrel hell.
Okay, now I'm seeing the thing of just squirrel heads one by one popping up out of the clouds, going dog, dog, dog.
Oh. Remember when you were talking about this Braille on Lego?
Yeah.
There was this blind guy in the Netherlands who came to a baker, and every time he bought like 10 loaves of bread and he couldn't eat that in whatever way. Then the baker asked him, "Why do you buy so much bread?" Well, he says these breads have from these seeds on the back, and you won't believe the stories they tell.
Oh God, I could see that being another conspiracy thing. That they're passing messages on the loaves of bread.
Yeah.
That you have to be able to braille the bread.
With the sesame seed of the moon seed
Yeah.
on the back.
Well, I got us back on squirrels at least, but I did see something that I thought was kind of cool, and well, maybe not cool, but I assume we all know what Warhammer 40K is.
Yeah, I've never played it, but I know of it.
I don't know what it is.
Well, some of the even more conservative nerds were panicking because they realized Games Workshop is not a U.S. company.
Ah, so that there would be tariffs on the figures.
They realized if the EU or Europe cuts us off, they're not going to be able to get their little toy armies anymore.
Yeah, the painting the Warhammer figures is another common autistic obsession.
Yeah, I've seen some pretty good paint jobs.
At Con of the North, they have speed painting contests, who can paint the figure the fastest, and everybody gets the same set of figures, and after an hour they judge them.
Hey, I'm all for if the one thing being Trump taking down is nerd rage. I'm all for that.
What is nerd rage?
Nerd rage is what happens when Games Workshop fanatics don't get their Games Workshop miniatures or books.
Ooh.
Well, remember, computers run the world. Nerds run computers. So be nice to nerds.
Yeah.
Yeah. Games Workshop, at least Warhammer 40K, I understand why there were right-wing fans of that. Right-wing fans of Star Trek still are confusing.
Yeah, because they don't understand the economics of Star Trek.
Well, the thing is, they're not understanding 40K if they're fans of it either. And Games Workshop has repeatedly had to tell them, it's like, no, you idiots, the Imperium of Man is evil. We're pretty clear about this, but in case we haven't been clear enough, let's come out and spell it for you.
Yeah, I don't know enough about the Warhammer lore.
Well, the basic thing is there are no good guys in the 40K universe. It's every faction is some varying level of evil.
Okay, so like reality.
Yeah, and the game itself was an over-the-top satire of like 1980s British politics.
Ah. Yes, when England went to war over a pile of penguin doom.
I would be inclined to agree, Deep State Annex. RFK is a servant of the Warhammer Chaos God of Disease and Plague.
Yes, RFK spreads Nurgle's blessings. Mega Mind Rot is one of the newest blessings from Nurgle. And yes, Nurgle is a chaos god of disease.
It's a mind rot. Is that caused by brain worms?
Yes.
Like RFK's brain worm?
Yeah, those poor little things get into there, they eat a little bit, but they'll starve to death.
Yeah.
Yeah, basically it's like, they're like just eating cardboard, so they're getting filled up, but there's no nutritional value.
I would like to point out that Brainworm is supposed to be dead.
Starved to death?
Well, that's what he told us. Whether it's actually dead, I don't know. Maybe it's a body snatcher situation.
Yeah, I've questioned that repeatedly.
Or maybe it's just what the brainworm wants you to believe.
Yeah.
Yeah, body snatcher situation.
It could be piloting them like those little aliens in Men in Black.
Yeah, well, like octopus do.
Or the brain slugs from Futurama.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, if you swim in the ocean, tiny baby octopus can swim into your ear, and they will slowly eat your brain and replace it, and they will pilot you as a meat mech.
Well, as long as they have better coordination than I actually have, I'm cool with that.
I meant to ask you, Porpoise. They always say to use the right tool for the right job, but you're left-handed. What do you use?
Determination, grit, and whatever tool I can get to work with my left hand.
Yeah.
Unless, of course, there are left-handed scissors available.
There used to be a shop in St. Louis Park, one of the Minneapolis suburbs, called Left Center. That all it was, they only sold things for left-handed people. And what surprised me there was that they actually had a line of Milwaukee power tools that had all of the grips reversed. All the grips and all the sights were reversed on all the saws.
Speaking of which, I couldn't find
Ned Flancers?
Yeah.
Ned Flancers left boring?
Yeah, he did that in Simpsons.
Speaking of which, I wonder if I should have my guitar strung left-handed. Now, not until I learned to play it better, because I couldn't find someone to teach me to play the ukulele here.
I've taught many people, left-handed people, to play guitar, and always on a right-handed guitar, because you can't play anyway, and a left-handed guitar is 2.5 times as more expensive than a right-handed guitar.
Wouldn't it be the same guitar with just the strings reversed?
I was going to say, wouldn't you just string it the other way?
Haven't tried that with a Fender Stratocaster. Look at Jimi Hendrix. You get the guitar upside down, and you get with your elbows is on the knobs and stuff.
Oh, yeah, I suppose electric guitar, when you've got the controls down on the bass, that could be a problem.
Guitar, you need to change. You need to change the top nut. You need to change the bridge. You need to change everything, because strings go from a certain gauge to a very thin gauge.
Yeah, I've never been a fan of charging left-handed people more just because they're left-handed.
Well, that's because you're left-handed.
Of course, I'm not a fan of that.
And if left-handed instruments should be so important, why aren't there left-handed pianos?
The piano is a two-handed instrument.
Yeah, but it's still left and right-handed. You know who the best boogie-woogie players are? Left-handed
people who died 60 years ago?
No, left-handed pianists. Because with the running tone, they have that in there because that is their dominant hand.
Hey, I'm sure I'm not wrong about people who died 60 years ago, though.
Oh, there were still good boogie-woogie players. Oh, yeah.
But it's
and I am not one of them.
I'm not. Hey, I liked Boogie Woogie. It just, for some reason, well, there are a couple bands, but it didn't go through the same revival that Swing went through, even though it's literally from the same era.
Well, while I use my right hand for most things, I am a left-handed pianist.
Athena, are you left or right pod?
Cats actually are.
Actually, I think Athena's right pod from what I saw. Because in cats, it's usually 50-50.
I have something even weirder. I am right-handed and left-footed. It took very long for me to learn how to walk, and I absolutely can't dance.
Well, I'm right-handed, but I'm left eye dominant. So to shoot a rifle or a bow, I have to shoot it left-handed.
Oh yeah, that's possible. Makes no difference for me because I miss every time.
Yeah, well, that's what I was always missing. And then for some reason, I tried it left-handed. And shooting it left-handed, I was pretty decent.
Jeez, people are analyzing. Jokes are always better when you overanalyze them.
Yeah, but you know how I discovered that I was right-handed and left-footed? Was in a music store when I could change the pedals in a drum kit, so I could do the bass drum with my left foot, but still have the hi-hat with my right hand, and then it worked. Won't say that I'm a drummer. No, absolutely not. But it worked.
Besides, it's like the guitar I got is a relatively lower end Yamaha acoustic guitar because there's no sense in spending a lot of money.
Yep. Well, for an acoustic guitar, I would think that you could just swap the strings around. I don't see this on those that would make a difference.
Yeah, but if you ever want to buy an expensive guitar, then you have learned to play the wrong way, and then you will get into papers. And why not learn to play on a right-handed string guitar if you cannot play anyway?
I think it's probably not going to be an issue for me because I'm never going to be a professional musician.
Well, also, I think, for some left-handed people, they may just not have the, the kind of muscle linkage really to the brain to be able to do it right-handed.
But Ned was pointing this out. There are some well-known musicians like Paul McCartney and Jimi Hendrix who did have left-handed guitars.
Yep.
Yeah. But they were too. But all the guys I have taught to play the guitar right-handed, they were all really glad because now they can buy their expensive guitars for 2.5 times cheaper than if they played left-handed.
2.5. Yeah.
Sorry,
math teacher, that doesn't quite work, but I'm going to think about it.
Yeah, I know. But a left-handed guitar is 2.5 times more expensive than a right-handed guitar.
Yep. He means the 250% cheaper.
Yeah, you get money.
Yeah, that doesn't work either.
Yeah, they pay you 100, and yeah. What's Trump said?
If Trump wants to give us 1,500% drug discounts, I'm all for going to the pharmacy and making money.
Yep.
Oh,
Yes,
yeah.
I'm
You know
for
how
that.
much I would pay canceling my medical insurance and getting paid cash for all my prescriptions?
Yeah, really.
You know, I know a lot of these suckers are a couple $100 a month without the insurance.
And then people are like, "Oh, you can't reduce the price of things 100%." It's like, yes, you can. Price is just a number. It's like you can't like give you 1,500% less of something that's physical, but price is just a number.
Yeah.
It's just bad business practice.
Yeah, it would just lead to a lot of bankrupt businesses.
Yeah.
Honestly, I'll ask him about it, but honestly, it's probably just easier to learn it right-handed because the guy's right-handed, and
Yeah, well, that's what I've heard from people who were left-handed, that trying to transpose it to the other hand was just too confusing.
Yeah, in the beginning, but as soon as you get to learn, it's just like you learn to read or to write. You cannot write at the first moment. You need to teach your hands. It is muscle memory that you need to teach.
yeah, I figured this was more like typing, touch typing, where you learn the position. You learn. It's like I hope I'm not the only one that can type without looking at the keyboard.
Yep. Well,
just-
I used to be able to, but now I have problems just because not enough fingers.
I was going to say that you can actually learn to touch type on a different keyboard layout, but
Yeah.
Yeah, you have these Dvorak keyboards. They're like these typists use in too.
Yeah.
In
Well, that's
boardrooms.
when I had my Commodore 64. I had changed the program keyboard matrix to be the Dvorak keyboard. So I taught myself on the Dvorak keyboard, and yeah, after about 3 months of practice, yeah, I was definitely almost twice as fast on the Dvorak keyboard.
Well, the current keyboards we have were designed to slow us down anyway.
Yep.
And you know what? Every kind of keyboard is installed in Linux. You just have to click it.
well, you can change in Windows too. But I'd like to point out I'm absolutely fine with the Shoals keyboard layout staying exactly the way it is.
Why, other than everybody's used to it?
Because left-handed typists have an advantage on the Shoals keyboard.
And you know that there is a Dutch keyboard. You know that is not. This is QWRT, and that is AZ. And I think no one uses it because it's all American keyboards. It is not taught in school. Then why make it a Dutch keyboard? I think they're so stupid.
Well, originally they just put the keyboard in alphabetical order, and you can still see remnants of this, and that's why you've got like JKL are all together.
Yeah.
Well, the reason
And they had to slow down the typists, so then they had to deliberately move the most common keys off of the home row. Which is why there's only one vowel on the home row when you're hitting that with your weakest finger.
and Ninjester, we do not tell the normal people about our plans. We wait until it's too late for them to do anything about it, and they all have to figure out how to use left-handed scissors.
Hey, have you ever met
I
a
can do
normal
that.
person?
I'm ambidextrous enough that I can use most of my tools with either hand.
But did anyone ever meet a normal person?
You're not supposed to use that word around me.
Yeah, but if someone says yes, then you say, "And did you like it?"
Yep. I like weird. I can't deal with people who identify as normal.
What about being Swiss? I think that just did not come through on my end correctly.
Like when I compare trans women to the other kind of women, I always say trans women and regular women because
okay, cis. That's not what I heard.
Yep.
it's just regular. And
Because
So what? We're unleaded.
no, trans people are special.
I think we're like ethanol. We're better for the environment.
Like ethanol.
Yep.
Definitely not methanol.
Ethanol.
Yeah.
Close enough.
Yep. Corn alcohol.
I mean, it's methanol, but isn't that this stuff that they use in burners and stuff, that blue stuff?
That's
spirit?
methane.
Methanol. Ethanol is a toxic alcohol.
Yeah, that's what
Yeah.
I mean.
It turns you
Oh.
blind and kills your liver faster.
By the way, I have something that everybody might like. Did you ever have some electrical appliance that it has this layer of rubber on it that started to stick and really went dirty that you would really throw it away? You can get that layer of rubber off just with alcohol. I learned that from ChatGPT.
I've learned a lot of things for ChatGPT.
He did. He got all the sticky ickies off with it.
I got a mouse, a really nice mouse, but it had like this anti-skid layer and it felt soft, but it started to get sticky and all, and I couldn't get it off. I tried to get it off with my nails, and then I asked, "How can you get it off?" And it is just with alcohol. You can just wave it off, and then everything is glide.
No.
Photo cameras have it. Some telephones have it. Electrical tools have it, and if that layer gets, because of the grease in your hand, this layer gets all sticky, you could just remove it with alcohol.
Well, first of all, I think people kept changing ethanol to methanol. Ethanol is the fuel. Methanol, they're both alcohols, but
I'm using to clean it.
Yeah, methanol is probably what you'd want to clean it. Is that just another name for rubbing alcohol?
No, isopropyl alcohol is rubbing alcohol.
Methanol, I think, is wood alcohol, which Commander was right. You'll go blind if you drink it.
It's all polyferrotetrachloramine.
Okay, so that's the stuff you get from when you separate the pine tar.
Polyferrotetrachloramine.
Which reminds me, it's like sometime when I get some extra.
Polyferrotetrachloramine was something that someone made up.
Yeah, it comes from a book. There was a polyferrotetrachloramine refinery in the Netherlands, but it is a completely made up substance. It doesn't exist. It's good for conspiracy theories. Like the messages on the back of breads. That's a good theory. The Braille messages.
Yep. Well, it's real good for your economy if you can, be selling something to other countries that doesn't exist.
Yeah.
Like Trump coin?
Yeah.
Or phones. Or watches.
Phones.
Yeah, and have
He accumulated more than $1 billion.
Sorry, it's just, I think there's a really nice house a couple doors down. I hear there's a treasure there. So I recently went upon my neighbors to say, hey, if you don't help me take this over this house, I'm going to start stealing from your properties too. Now, if I don't get his logic with Greenland.
Yeah.
They're saying he's whisked out just now, but I don't buy it. Someone tried to talk sense into him. He's saying, "Oh well, I'm not going to put those tariffs on, but he'll be back at it in a week."
Well, I just hope the Supreme Court does the right thing for once and says, no, these tariffs are unconstitutional. You cannot pass these without congressional approval.
Yeah, then Trump has something else to ignore.
Well, I have no faith in the Supreme Court.
But
Unfortunately.
Trump ignores everything. So what's the point? He ignores the Congress. He ignores the Senate. He is he's a despot.
I think you're missing the point. I don't think the Supreme Court is going to tell him no.
Yeah, I think that all the checks and balances are completely gone from our system at this point.
I mean, the Supreme Court has occasionally told him no, but I don't think they would tell him no in this one.
Yeah, perhaps they will be found somewhere in a ditch. If they don't, I don't know. It's like mafia.
Yeah, you know just how quiet the whole Republican Party has been about him taking over Venezuela. They just don't talk about it and let him go.
Well, Maduro was not a good guy. I'm not
no, granted.
And still, there's still a Dutch city named after Maduro.
Well, but unfortunately, while Maduro was not a good guy,
look it up.
They didn't change anything because they still have, his administration is still running the place even without him there.
But
but I'm not joking. I'm serious. Look it up on the internet. Maduro Dam.
Oh, I have to but this whole let's bomb Venezuelan fishing boats. It's like, why?
Yep.
Yeah,
and that's the cruelty and the illegality is the point.
Yeah, well, that's why we need something like a Nuremberg trial.
All right.
For everyone in the Trump administration to be charged for the war crimes they participated in.
All right, everyone repeat after me. So those of us in the U.S. Everyone in the U.S. can learn our new national anthem. Oh, Canada, our home and native land.
Yeah.
I could, only hope so. I've been trying to get them to do that since the 80s.
Canada to make Minnesota a province of Canada.
Yep.
At this point, I think Tim Walz should reach out and say, "Hey, we've been invaded. We want to join Canada."
That would be something.
Well, I think that Canada would not have very much resistance. I think, if they started coming in with the tanks, people would just be waving them through.
It's like, hey, want something? What's a Minnesota treat? I don't know.
We'd be bringing hot dish out to them.
And they bring maple syrup.
Hey there. Trade you some lutefisk for some maple syrup.
No. We just like any new neighbor, any time a person moves into the neighborhood, you bring a hot dish over for them so that they don't have to cook after a day of unpacking.
Yeah.
I think the fastest way for the United States to lose the Northeast, Minnesota, and then the West Coast
and
is
Illinois.
for Trump to start a war with Illinois. Is for Trump to start a war.
Yeah, well, if the U.S. loses California, they're really screwed.
Well, I mean, if pretty much all the blue states, either bordering Canada or the northeastern states, were basically to become part of Canada, then Canada would become the biggest country in the world with the largest GDP overnight.
Well, I can understand Canada not wanting to fight fascist thugs in Minnesota right now.
Yeah, unfortunately, we do have some of them around, and that's, I live in a red pocket, so I know that a lot of the other people in this building voted for Trump.
There's a good way to get rid of ice in Minnesota. Wait for it to get to the snow to fall and then leave them outside. They like ice so much, then they can have it.
Yeah, I don't think ice is going to survive the winter here.
That's what I mean.
Yep.
They like ice so much, so let them have it.
From what we've been able to tell, it looks like the majority of the ones they sent up here to our city are from Georgia. So they have never driven in the snow before. We had one snowfall since they were here. three of them got stuck in the snow, and one of them slid off the road and hit a pole.
That explains a lot of the ice versus ice videos I've seen.
Yeah.
Yep.
They're not used to it.
Yep.
Yeah, they have no idea how to drive in the snow.
Well, that's not even driving. They're just falling on ice.
Oh, yeah.
Which, to be fair, the Northerners do too. We do it.
Yeah. Yeah, they don't know how to walk on an icy parking lot.
I was thinking about putting a banana. I was thinking about putting a banana peel slips down on one of them.
Yep.
Yeah, but hey, we all know what happened to Germany when they invaded the Soviet Union. If ICE want to invade Minnesota in winter, they get the same.
Well, I saw a great post from somebody actually here. I took a picture of it, took a screenshot of it, so I'll bring it up. Just give me a bit.
I will say one thing to Ned, though. Russia is really vast, and Minnesota is only half vast.
Yeah, but they're all coming from a bit. If they're coming from Georgia and California, they will freeze.
Remember, kids, governments are like shots of Jägermeister. They're better without ice.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Just abolish ice. I got Molly here, and she likes to chase squirrels.
There we go.
My cat never seen a squirrel.
You don't have squirrels there?
Not here.
My cat's seen plenty of squirrels. I just don't think she knows what to do with them.
There we go.
I made the decision to exile a city full of descendants of Vikings in the middle of winter. That's a
They apparently didn't hear about Winter War and the problem that Russia had against the Finns in winter.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I mean, the Russians are used to fighting in the winter, though, don't?
Yeah, well, that's what I mean. The Russians were even used to it, but their equipment still couldn't handle it. These ice guys, they have no clue what they're doing here.
And the Finns did have the White Death on their side.
Yep. But see, okay, people who have lived in Minnesota through several winters know that on an icy parking lot, you walk like a penguin.
The only thing I know of Minnesota winters come from Grumpy Old Men, the movies.
Well, at least you didn't say Fargo, because so many people saw that movie and don't realize that Fargo's in North Dakota. That's not even Minnesota.
No, but Grumpy Old Men. When they were fishing on the frozen lake.
Yep.
Well, I grew up in Pennsylvania, so our winters were quite a bit different. They weren't warm, but I think we got more ice than Minnesota did, especially after like a sleet or freezing rainstorm.
Yeah. I would just love, if we would have a traditional Minnesota blizzard here, the kind that drops a foot of snow in one night.
Yeah. And everyone in Minnesota knows for the moment, no, we need to go home.
I've heard at least some of these hotels, those are just completely closing down, and so ICE can't use them.
Well, a lot of hotels are just boycotting ICE, that they will not rent rooms to them.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Some of them are like, "Oh, you can't do that." So what they're doing is just completely closing down.
Yep.
So they're not letting anyone in.
So they
but even some of the bigger ones here, I have heard that the Holiday Inn here has stopped renting rooms to ICE because they were considering them to be a disturbance to their other clients. So that's how they got around the thing of, that they could just refuse ICE agents because their presence was disrupting their other clients.
Yep.
I don't get how ICE agents do know they're very unpopular right now, right?
Yeah, I'm sure.
Some of them know that.
Well, that's the whole point of our protest. We're trying to tell them that.
I don't. When even when most Americans are like, even like the ones that were like, "Oh, defunding the police is terrible," or like, "Abolish ICE."
Yep.
Hey, how can you abolish ICE in Minnesota in winter?
We got along. ICE was founded in 2003. We got along just fine without them for that long. We don't need them.
Yep. And I think that this is the campaign that the Democrats should run for the midterms. You should have the Democratic congressional candidates say that if you elect enough of us, we will abolish ICE.
Can I tell you something? The ICE is the Immigration and Custom Enforcement.
Yep.
We have the IND, that is the Immigration and Naturalization Service. Why does everything there has to be enforcement? We have the service.
Well, ICE was enforced and created after the terrorist attacks in 2001, and before that, Customs and Border Patrol took care of most of what ICE is doing.
Yep.
Yeah.
So we can just get rid of ICE and Customs and Border Patrol.
Yeah.
And in some cases, the Coast Guard can take back over.
Yeah, we don't need them.
What ICE is doing is like what the Brown Hemden did for Hitler.
Oh, you're not the first one to make that comparison.
I know it because my parents told me the stories. How the Brown Hemden came when, and that was in Germany. We lived in the Netherlands, but my parents experienced Nazism and fascism.
Mm-hmm.
And people in America, they have no idea what they're going to in what direction, because they're too stupid.
A lot of people
All these
do. It's the MAGAs and conservatives that don't. Are they enjoying it?
So,
are they ignorant or they want it?
Not to change the topic, but I have to go back to a question. What's that pastry that is like very popular in like the Wisconsin, Minnesota, and those states? Other than donuts. Donuts are popular all in the U.S., but there's a specific pastry I'm thinking of.
Yeah, well, cinnamon rolls is the first thing that comes to my mind. I'm not sure what you're referring to.
Well, cinnamon rolls are popular everywhere, except the proper form of cinnamon rolls is made in Philadelphia and it's called sticky buns.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not sure what you're referring
pasties?
to. You'd have to describe it a bit.
Pasties, I think. That's it.
Oh, yeah, pasties a meat pie. You know, it's got all your meat and vegetables. It's basically like a pot pie all rolled up so that you could eat it with your hands.
I'm sorry, I'm Pennsylvania Dutch. What we call pot pie is not what you're thinking of. Of course, I think it's called chicken and dumplings in the rest of the country, so
meat buns, huh?
Well, and there is a difference between Cornish pot pie, or Cornish pasties and Finnish pasties.
Kannst du Deutsches Fetze?
What?
Sorry, if it weren't for the original generation Nazis, I could probably tell you more of that language.
Oh.
But it's Pennsylvania Dutch for do you speak Pennsylvania Dutch?
Yeah, but the pasties were invented for the miners. That basically, that was, that their whole lunch could be rolled up into a piece of dough and baked. So then it was something that the miners could just, eat with their hands on their lunch break. So it's, it's got potatoes and vegetables and meat all wrapped up in there.
So why is that squirrel headed off to Valhalla? Actually, I think he's...
that's a cat.
Appreciation Day. It's a squirrel. I made one for squirrels and
you
cats.
did make a squirrel, okay.
I'm sorry, the squirrel might be coming down from Asgard because it's clearly coming down on a rainbow.
Yeah. That's rainbow colors.
Yeah, what that was. Yeah, the black squirrel is gone now.
Yeah, it's
For
rainbow squirrels.
well, for over 4 years, we had a black squirrel living in one of the trees outside of our building here, and it loved to tease Sammy-san. It would come and it would climb around on my living room window screen and chatter at him.
Kinder eggs aren't illegal in the U.S. anymore. You can buy them.
I don't think they can sell the original Kinder eggs through stores because they don't meet safety standards.
Yeah, it's a different thing.
Yeah, the Kinder Surprise is different from the Kinder eggs.
Everything is regulated with safety standards, but still you have guns that kill people.
Yep.
Yeah, it makes sense, doesn't it?
Yeah, children's toys have much stricter safety standards than guns.
Hey, now, that is not fair. Gun regulations are strictly regulated for the safety of the guns.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Honestly, we could have the gun culture we have in the United States and the same amendments if people were just not as stupid about it as they were.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
A gun I'm very proud of, and it's called a spray gun. You can spray paint a car with it.
Yeah,
That's
but
the only good form of gun I can.
See, Europeans tend to think every American owns a gun. A lot of us don't.
Yeah, I know. But the gun crazies are very loud.
Yes.
Yeah, you can go up to those nice white ice vans and paint fuck ice on them.
Did they do that?
But see, I once pointed out that the problem in America is not that there are so many guns, but it's an unequal distribution of guns.
Yeah. Definitely the case.
So I said the government should actually go out and redistribute the guns so they're more evenly distributed, so everyone in America has at least one.
Yes, and when we're all pointing guns at each other, that's the only time we can ever be safe.
And then, just to make sure, everyone's on the same playing field, every American should have the government should get a certain allotment from the bullets from the government every month.
Yeah.
Then someone finally realized Then someone finally realized what I was essentially arguing for, just using guns as a metaphor for. They're like, "Stop it!"
And for the slower ones in the audience, what was your what was your tongue-in-cheek argument?
Oh, it was essentially about universal basic income and wealth redistribution.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
I
got it.
I've got an idea. What if one company starts giving out ammunition for free? And then this will drive all the other ammo companies out of business and they'll be the only one left. And they'll keep giving out ammunition for free, but they'll stop putting gunpowder in it.
Yeah, the gun ho. Sorry, but it's if you have 10 guns, unless you're a collector, you do not need 10 guns.
Yeah.
If you do hunting, fine, I'll grant you a rifle. If you like to shoot, maybe a pistol. If you live in a dangerous area, I can see maybe owning an extra one or two. And by dangerous area, I mean dangerous with wildlife, not.
Yeah. Well, that's
yeah.
I wish that we could just get the message across that, okay, we're not talking about your hunting rifles. Can we discuss gun regulation now?
We can discuss it with cold help.
Yeah, but just allow that. Okay, everybody can have a hunting rifle. That's not an issue. We're not talking about hunting rifles, but do we need people to be like this? And do we need people to have military grade weapons?
Well, I mean, there is a difference between an assault rifle and But
You
the
know
AR-15
You know what
is.
it is with this picture? They're not not enough people to wield them.
Well, I think the main problem with this picture is that
Shoot 4 people, and the rest is it's useless.
See, the main problem with this picture is that proper American etiquette, most of the gun barrel should be pointing, all of the gun barrel should be pointing away from the people. Take a close look at that picture.
Yeah, you got a point there. A lot of the guns are pointing at their own kids.
I mean, that's not even proper American etiquette. That's just gun safety.
Yeah.
Spray painting is very safe, except when you spray someone in the face with acid with it. But nobody does that.
I like the idea of going out and, and painting messages on the ice vans while they're sleeping.
But you know that a spray paint gun is the perfect weapon against invisibility.
No. Instead of what you need to do is get some kind of glue and have the signs and just put free candy on all their vans.
That's a good one. I was just thinking, drawing penises on them in orange.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's I think
green tyrants.
No, you don't want. They'll misread that as them having large penises. You got to remember that the orange penis it needs a magnifying glass.
Yeah, I think someone told me recently on Clapper, it's like, yeah, Trump is the only president to have balls, and I think my response was, you can get orange balls that don't smell like a diaper-wearing old man at the grocery store, right?
Yeah.
You can get some really nice orange balls at the grocery store that smell like citrus.
Or ones that taste like cheese and are crunchy and salty.
Yeah, I got a canister of those right here.
Cheese?
Try some crunchy, salty balls.
Okay. You know what?
Sweaty balls.
I really want a company to start producing, like they have the cheese balls, but why don't they produce these in a range of flavors? Instead of just cheese, why can't I get these in like barbecue and sour cream and onion?
Because it isn't cheese anymore.
I think you can if you look around far enough. But
I've been looking around. Well, it's at least it's not something that any of the grocery stores stock. It's not being done by any of the chip producers in our area.
I wonder why you can't get pizza flavored pretzels. And even the company that I knew sold them back in Pennsylvania. I couldn't find them this year.
Pizza flavored pretzels?
Yeah.
Actually sounds good.
Okay.
Yeah. Sound bad.
One of the annoying things about living in the Twin Cities in the 80s was that somebody had decided at that time that we were the demographically average city. So for about 10 years, every product got test marketed in Minneapolis. So we got a whole bunch of varieties and flavors of things that no one else in the country ever saw that were available here for about 3 months and then disappeared.
Yeah, I think Diet Voltage was a test market where I lived once, and that was good. But I haven't seen it ever since.
Well, among the products they test marketed here was caffeine-free Jolt.
That's kind of missing the point.
Yeah.
And that is caffeine-free Jolt?
Yeah.
What does that
Jolt
mean?
was a soft drink that was originally advertised with having 3 times the caffeine of regular colas.
Oh.
That was their selling point.
It is like alcohol-free whiskey.
Yeah.
Yeah. So caffeine-free Jolt, is that just water?
Yeah, something.
Well, basically, it was just cola. At that point, it was just like Coke.
Another one where the guns were pointed at the guy.
Yep.
Are these like just like Photoshop things or
No?
No.
This one's actually from NBC News.
Yeah.
I mean,
well,
at least he has a gun safe.
this was actually a fad that for a while gun owners were displaying their whole collections on the internet like this.
Who has seen the film Tremors?
Oh yeah, that's a good.
This guy had an arsenal, and I thought that is completely for the movie. And then I saw people who really had these arsenals.
Yeah, and then you saw what Americans actually have. Yeah, that's not an exaggeration.
Yeah, people like this people like that are generally nuts.
Yeah, and
I'm just thinking that
them gun crazies.
I'm just thinking that guy with all of his guns laid out, that, you know, his dog finally pushes the door open and runs to him happily, and how many triggers does he trip on the way?
But on the other hand, it's like I know plenty of trans women in this country who will not go anywhere without a gun.
Yeah,
Fair.
that's been growing.
Can't blame you.
You know, and I never felt I would have any need for one until ICE showed up. But, you know, I'm not worried about being shot by anybody else except for ICE.
You should visit here, that you can see what a country is like where you don't need guns.
Ned, if I ever go to the Netherlands, you're going to have to take me to a bar along with Purple Mage and my unfinished journey, because I'm sure this will all be a trip. We're going for some atheist conference or something.
Huh?
And we're going to have to get like a Dutch beer and try some weed. Okay?
Okay.
I unfortunately don't travel very well.
Yeah, I'd be down for that.
Okay,
I can even grow it for you if you want.
I'm all up for the trip, but we've got to go to Denmark for a day so I can see the Lego factory.
Sure. And we'll go to Zurich so I can see like where my ancestors in Martyrs Mere were hung.
My grandfather was Dutch.
So Ned, do they have cider in the Netherlands?
I think so.
Okay, cool.
I think so.
We can avoid the windmills.
Yeah, I've had that problem that I can't find a decent hard cider anywhere around here.
Speaking of which, you know, I think the Netherlands has a perfect opportunity to troll Trump.
I bet they don't do it.
Oh, wait. What's one thing that the Dutch are known for that he hates?
Wooden shoes?
I don't know.
What's the one thing he rants about that one thing that he rants about that makes no sense. Everything he rants about makes no sense. But what's one thing he seems to be focused about when it comes to renewable energy?
Oh, yeah, the windmills.
Windmills, yeah.
So
I think bicycles too. I mean, bicycles are kind of woke.
So I think the Netherlands, if they have some space, should create the Donald Trump Jeffrey Epstein Memorial Windmill Monument.
Yeah, but the most people don't even know who Jeffrey Epstein was, because it is not news here. That is a stupid thing. People still think that Donald Trump is a legit president. And now he's been in Davos, and now everyone saw his speech. And if they still think that Trump is a legit president, then I will get neck pain of shaking my head.
Yeah, you'll have to take us to your favorite bar or bars.
Yeah. I have no favorite bar. I never come in a bar anymore. And my favorite bar is in this village, but it's closed.
Or am I thinking the wrong way? Because in America, in order to have to serve alcohol, you have to have. Generally, you're only going to get alcohol in a bar, or.
Yeah, but there are enough bars, but I don't know anyone in a bar anymore.
Yeah, understand.
I'm too old.
Well, I just thought maybe it was commonplace for to have alcohol in many restaurants.
Oh, I can we can go to some cafe or to a bar. I don't know. And you will probably have enormous fun, because as soon as you say that you're American, everyone starts to talk English to you, because they finally can talk English to someone.
Yeah. That's interesting.
You know, that's why an alcoholic can never be a lawyer. Because they can't pass the bar.
Yeah.
So if we do go overseas, do I have to wear a shirt that says "I'm sorry for Trump"?
I think we all
I
need
didn't
to
vote for him.
What I recommend we all do is get little Canadian lapel pins.
Yep.
Canadian flag lapel
okay.
pins. And we don't tell anyone we're American.
Yeah, I'm just going to embroider a maple leaf on my jacket.
Yeah, but people don't hate Americans here.
No, I haven't gotten much shit, but of course everyone knows that I'm trying to live here.
Yeah, but I wanted to go to Switzerland and Purple wanted to go to Denmark.
Oh,
yeah, I'm especially Denmark is not going to be popular.
Denmark is like a 4-hour drive from here.
Yep.
Now, then
but if Trump's invading Greenland, I'm sure Denmark's not going to be real happy about Americans.
If you get off the plane in the Netherlands, you don't even need visa. You don't even need visa for the Schengen area.
Oh, do they take MasterCard?
Visa, I mean, you know what? Yeah. And MasterCard, no.
Yeah, you don't.
No, they don't like.
You do need ESA right now.
Purple, remember, in
You
Holland,
need an ESA.
you can go underneath a windmill, but they don't take American Express. Sorry, I don't remember why I remember those old commercials.
I do too.
Now you do need electronic travel authorization.
Yeah, but the best known, the best used credit card here is still Visa. If you come with American Express, you have chance that it isn't accepted.
I was parodying an old commercial anyway.
Yeah.
But the only thing that Dutch people don't like about Americans is that they are so loud. When you walk in the crowd in the city, you don't hear people talk. You see them talk really civilized. You cannot even hear them.
Where are you?
Yeah.
And I've been in America. I had a Mexican girlfriend, and she had this economical visa, so she could come into the United States. And we went to El Paso, we went to Albuquerque, and they were so loud, always talking so loud to each other. Also in restaurants, you could hear the people at the other side of the restaurants talk. That we don't do that here.
Honestly, I think if we're going to go to Europe, we would probably enjoy the public transportation.
Oh yeah, I would like to experience the trains down there.
Huh? We have trains.
Yeah.
There are trains.
Take a train into Denmark, or probably a couple trains.
Yep.
Another day, take the trip into Switzerland.
You can do everything by train here.
Yep. That's what I've heard.
Except when there is no train. But they're hardly empty. Yeah, the nearest train station here is like at average like 20 miles away. And then from that train station you can always go through complete Europe because it's one network.
Yep. Well, that's what I've heard from a bunch of people is that, pretty much any country in Europe, you can take the train and you can rent a bicycle at the train station for doing that last however many miles you need to go.
Yeah, if you can ride a bicycle.
Oh yeah.
Most Americans can't.
Where did you get that idea?
And I can strongly advise against renting a bicycle.
Let's go back. Where did you get the idea most Americans can't ride a bicycle?
Because I've seen it in movies. The idiotic bicycles they make there.
You're wrong. But I understand the misconception.
You're right about them making idiotic bicycles.
Listen to me. I totally advise against renting a bicycle like in cities like Amsterdam because it's an anthill with bicycles. You get killed if you do that. If you don't know how the traffic goes, it will cost you your life because it's like an anthill. You can better take the tram or the bus, the city bus, and walk.
Yeah, I'm just saying that most Americans do know how to ride a bicycle.
Not in Amsterdam. Just take a look at some videos in Amsterdam about bicycles. It is like when you have the ferry from north to south Amsterdam over the big water, the eye, like we call it there. Then they come off. It is like you have a beehive where you cut off the top. It is swarming out like bees, and no one hits each other. And when you don't know that, you're not experienced with it, you will create accidents.
But anyway, yeah, you'll have to recommend like whatever.
You can rent a bicycle, but in regions where I am, with nature, then it's beautiful, but not in cities.
Whatever the local favorite beer is.
I'm not a beer drinker.
Mostly
Heineken.
Yeah. Heineken, Grolsch, Brandt. Brandt beer is good.
I've got a feeling that
I think you've got a feline.
Yes. If you list the countries you're traveling to, I think that Aaron Ra could tell you the best beer in each country.
Yeah, I met Aaron Ra once, but I already told you.
I bet he could also tell us the best metal band he knows of from each country too.
I bet so. I don't know. We had a band called Vandenberg.
I'm more into punk music, but sorry, the Brits usually win punk music.
We had punk bands.
Oh, punk bands exist everywhere too, but I'm just saying the Brits usually do have the best punk bands.
Yeah, and we're like I see in the side chat here, we are very good at complaining about the weather.
Yes, but actually, I was about to say something about tornadoes, but there was a plane that got destroyed by a tornado and going in for a landing at a Dutch airport. Or going for a takeoff. I can't remember which.
If that happened.
That happened.
Yeah, it must have been world news.
Yes, I'll look up the flight. It might be the wrong country, but
I'm not saying it cannot be, but it is something so
tornadoes are that rare
that it would be the news of the day. A tornado getting down a plane. Shelter, bro. What is
Shelter,
it
was the NLM City Hopper 431, a Fokker F-28, which I don't know if Rotterdam is in the Netherlands, but
it is.
And yes. I mean, but yeah, that's the one that got caught in the tornado. And yes,
the spelling of the beer was my autocorrect, not realizing I was using a non-English word.
That's okay. The English, I'm
that
sure.
Is it.
Schultenbrau.
Yeah,
and Schultenbrau sounds like it's German, but it's Dutch beer.
I mean, German is a Germanic language, just like English.
Does anyone know what happened to Taddy Boggle?
What did happen?
Yeah, he was a person in our community on YouTube.
Yeah,
I've never heard of him, so no.
Oh,
the last time I had to met him, that was when this disaster with Crafty Keelat accusing me and Ivy of cat.
Well,
How do you call it?
Yeah, well, one of my greatest
Fishing and
sources of amusement.
racism they accused him of.
Yeah,
Robert
And
X. It,
you destroyed my channels because I'm still under the 300, around the 300 subscriptions.
yeah,
Robert X. It was just something that stood out because one, tornadoes are far more common in the United States, especially like Dixie Alley and the Tornado Alley regions. And two, it's an
Oh,
airplane.
and
Yeah, but we have tornadoes here, but it's very rare.
That's kind of what I said.
Yeah, yeah, that's exactly.
for the record, the accusations that Craft Tequila made included racism, but here's a fun thing for the record. He's shown me pictures of former romantic interests, and two of them were not white. So the accusations
okay,
of
I'm
racism
sorry
were
I brought him
absolute
up here.
bullshit.
I'm sorry I brought him up. Let's just drop it.
Yeah.
If I could find pictures of me when I was like 9-10 years old, I came live in a neighborhood that were all lots of Indonesian kids, and they were, in my eyes, they were all almost black, and we got friends right away. And these parents, because we were all living in a little bit in the country, they gave their children of these blue coveralls to play in, so they didn't destroy their clothes. And I got one the same, and you could see pictures of when we were fishing, and I was the only white kid with white hair between all these black kids, and they were all my friends. Why would I be racist? My best friends have different colors.
Yeah,
I've been in mixed bands where I was the only white guy. Yeah,
I had that with my late fiance. That hanging out with her friends, I was usually the only white person in the room.
My unfinished journey looks like he's looking at writing something.
Yeah, he's taking notes.
So, I found out earlier in the stream that I got a new job.
Cool.
It's awesome.
Good.
Thank you.
So the money will start coming in again in a few weeks.
Good for you.
Yeah, Demon Orb. Most fly the Eurofighter now. Now the Tornadoes are mostly retired.
I don't. Sometimes it's been up to a month for me before having money come in from a new job, just depending on their pay structure.
Yeah, depending on when you start and when their pay cycles are.
Yeah, and yeah, I've got enough cushion to get me by for that.
Yep.
No problem.
Well, that's good. I'm glad you're having some good news.
So yeah, I'm getting all sorts of emails about onboarding paperwork and such, and please fill this out as soon as possible.
Yeah, well, they got to have everything for the tax records.
Oh, which reminds me, I need to renew my CPR certification.
What?
As part of being a teacher, you have to renew your CPR certification every so often.
Gotcha.
And what is that?
Cardiopulmonary resuscitation.
Oh, yeah.
Mouth to mouth.
Yep.
I didn't understand it.
Yeah.
Now I know what you mean. Yeah.
Yeah, first aid if somebody's not breathing right.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
so Ned, would the Dutch be KPR?
I have no idea what it is called. I just know how to do it. I have absolutely no. Yeah, we call it reanimate.
Gotcha.
I thought Reanimator was a terrible story by H.P. Lovecraft, where he was just trying to essentially retell Frankenstein, and wasn't one of his better stories.
I think this Robert X8020 is Dutch, because he says, "Don't come in the winter. The trains might be not riding." And that's true because
He
sometimes don't ride because there are leaves on the tracks and they slip. They can't get traction.
I can actually see why that would happen.
I've seen him make multiple references to he's in the other ones.
Yeah,
He
well,
said,
mats of wet leaves can be as slippery as ice.
Yeah.
honestly, I don't think this trip is likely to happen anytime soon, if it happens at all. But
Yeah.
because there are a few of us that might need
He
to.
lives in the Netherlands, so he knows. And it's true what he said. And then when you see like these gifts, trains in Netherlands, they stop because of the leaves on the road, and then you see an American train barging through all this snow.
Yep.
Well, I think that's a little bit different with snow and leaves, but
we had snow last week.
Although I do know, oddly enough, I do know there was a train that got stuck in Donner Pass for a time.
Yeah.
Not a wagon train, an actual
train. And I looked
train.
to the Mormons for inspiration as to how to handle that situation. They looked to the Donner Party. That was a joke.
I don't think the Donner Party were Mormons. Unless you're referring to another incident that did involve the Mormons, which is the Mountain Meadows Massacre.
No, the Donner Party were Mormons.
I'll look that one up.
Were they? Yeah, I don't know what religion they were. But I had a thought. Now it's gone.
No, it doesn't look like most of them were. Oh, here we are. The Mormons. Here we go. All right. So the Donner Party that Mormon pioneers used to enter the Great. All right. There is a Mormon connection, but they weren't Mormons.
At least not all of them were.
I wouldn't be surprised if there were a few Mormons. It did take place at the right time, and some Mormons did go to California instead of Utah.
And
after
some
Joseph
got
Smith
eaten
died.
along the way.
I imagine so, but I don't know if it would be as part of the Donner Party.
Well, if you ever get stuck in a train in Donner Pass, just do as the Donners do.
Yeah, the train in the 20th century did not have cannibalism. It's just, it got stuck in the Donner Pass.
Are you sure that the same number of passengers disembarked as had embarked?
One, they weren't stuck there all winter. I think it ended to be no more than a couple days, if that. And two, they knew the train was there, so people were trying to get to it. It was either like
eating someone anyway, just for fun, and I'm just joking about that.
Yeah.
Listen, I personally would not stop for a picnic at the Donner Party, the Donner Pass National Park, or something like that.
Yep.
You know, it's just like what Brain says, and when they did a Pinky and the Brain Christmas party, it's like, "Hey, Brain, you want to go to Donner? Do you want to go to Donner's party?" It's like, "Thank you, Pinky, but somehow the idea of joining the Donner Party is unappealing."
The Donner Party was lame. Now Blitzen knew how to throw a party.
How much longer do you want to go, Purple? Because I don't know if you have a group tonight or not.
I don't have a group tonight, but I've been struggling to stay awake.
Yeah, I'd have to get up pretty soon in the walk Molly.
Yeah, okay, so yeah, I see the clock says we've been running for a bit over 3 hours, so it's probably time to wind it off.
Unless I have a 10-pound feline that's going to demand I take a nap pretty soon.
Yeah, that's. I think that Sammy can tell that I'm fading off here, so he's just waiting for me to finish arranging the blanket so he can lay on my legs.
What? I'm sure Sammy Sam has your schedule down and knows when you sleep. Or at least recognizes the pattern, because Athena has recognized some patterns I haven't expected her to recognize.
Yeah. I was going to say, I don't sleep on any regular schedule, but yeah, that's what I mean about arranging the blankets, that Sammy knows that when I put my legs out straight and I tuck the blankets out under them, that then it's going into sleeping mode.
But Athena will come in and just like try to herd me into the bedroom sometimes and say, "You're home now.
Yeah.
You're going to take a nap."
Well, when I'm just sitting on the computer, I'm sitting cross-legged. So the only time I really put both legs out straight is when I'm going to sleep.
I just think it's funny when animals recognize certain behavior and just try to bully you into it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, so let's go around, Commander. What have you got going on?
I'm good. I'm gonna try to post a string this weekend. I need to start getting back into it. My emotional roller coaster over everything personal and what's going on outside of me is taking its toll. But hanging out with friends and everything, I guess it helps.
Yeah.
And I got a friend here in the house and stuff too, so we'll have fun.
Yeah, we have a car now.
I thought you didn't
You
need a
wouldn't
car with all
believe
the
the
buses
kind of
and
car you
trains
can
and
get.
bicycles.
Yeah, but I have a car.
It was
We bought a car last.
800
last
euros.
Yep.
And now we can get stuff that needs to get done and also have fun. It's just before, his motorcycle actually died, and that was the only thing where both of us could safely go together anywhere. So now that we have a car, we can do more things.
That's cool. You can get
Nice.
out of the house and do things.
And then when I get a permit, I can get to work too.
Sweet.
I've tried that work thing. I'm just not fond of it.
Oh, trust me, it's really overrated.
I can agree with that.
Just imagine dealing with 6 different crowds of teenage hecklers a day.
Well, I've got a
wouldn't do a
plan that would
teacher if
solve
you
the
paid me.
unemployment.
They do pay me.
Yeah, I don't think you could pay me enough to sit in a room with 30 teenagers.
Yeah, imagine the smell.
I only taught music on campings in the holiday season, and when the kids were the parents were there, could bring their kids to me when they had something, and we did things with music, and it was always a success. That was my only teaching experience.
I did teach one class for a couple of weeks because my daughter's school decided to try an experiment that they invited the parents to come in and propose to teach a class. So I volunteered and I went and I taught a class on comparative mythology.
Oh.
So the kids liked it. I don't know if their parents would have been so thrilled about it since I, included the Bible under the heading of mythology. So I was comparing the Bible to, various different world mythologies and showing that the Bible really didn't have any original ideas in it. that it was telling stories that had been told by many different cultures before it. There's Ethan.
Don't say.
Oh, yeah, I couldn't get to my camera fast enough to get a picture.
I wonder what would happen if I attached my GoPro to Athena. Unfortunately, I think that would be too heavy for her, but could you imagine like a GoPro on a cat?
I've seen that.
I don't have the skill to, handle one of those. I'm trying to, where can I get a Go Amateur?
First of all, GoPros are not professional cameras. Secondly, if you're worried about keeping it stable, you can get harnesses for your GoPro that you can wear. But they're also good video recording cameras if you don't. You're just looking for something that's not too expensive.
I don't want to keep it stable. I'm afraid it would get kicked by a horse.
Single sloth for that one, Perp.
There are 10 types of people in the world, those who can count in binary and those who can't.
Yep. Okay, so Porpoise, since we've got you on, what have you got coming up?
I am the Sinister Porpoise. When you think of Sinister Porpoises, think of the Sinister Porpoise. I am still on hiatus from YouTube right now. I will probably be on hiatus until either Indiana decides I can no longer be a teacher, I burn out, or I say something that gets me fired. Of course, I keep thinking that's going to happen, and I've been doing this job for 5 years.
You just don't know how desperate they are for teachers, do you?
Especially STEM teachers in the state.
Yeah, they can't afford to fire you. Who else are they going to get to fill that classroom?
Oddly enough, I'm not the only computer science teacher there. But nor was the only trans math teacher until very recently. But I am on Clapper. You can follow me there at Mad Computer Scientist. If I can figure out a way to safely do it, I think I'll do my stream with ChatGPT or Answers in Genesis and ChatGPT this Sunday. Hopefully not the same one Maya just did. I'm Mad Computer Scientist. You can follow me over there. It's Mad Computer Scientist 1 here on YouTube. And since Jenny's not here, BK, do crimes. Remember, it's always acceptable to punch Nazis. It's never morally wrong. And as long as you're not a Nazi, be excellent to each other.
Don't be like ICE.
Yeah, be excellent to each other as long as they're not Nazis.
Nazis, ICE agents, I can't tell the difference anymore.
There's a difference?
There's none.
Oh, wait, yeah, that's right. The Nazis don't wear masks.
Technically, Nazis are from the 1940s and have enough guts to show their face. But I'm using Nazi as shorthand for, authoritarian fascist.
I really think that, anybody who's hiding their face and carrying a gun, you should tackle them and hold them to the ground until the police arrive.
I'm going to have to... I'm going to give the police in Minnesota comment. What's the wrong word? I'm amazed by their restraint. That hasn't escalated to something worse.
The Minneapolis police are doing great. Unfortunately, the police in St. Cloud seem to be very careful about not saying anything that would imply that they're taking a stand one way or the other.
Well, from what I've heard, even conservative cops don't like ICE right now because...
Yeah, ICE is giving them all a bad name.
They're giving them a bad name. But they may agree, in theory, with what ICE's stated goals are.
Yeah.
Well,
but that's the part that worries me, is that the St. Cloud police chief has not made any statement on his position about it. So that makes me think that, he's probably siding with the ICE agents, but he's afraid that people will protest the police station if he says so. So, Journey. How things coming for you? You got a
Well,
job. That's great.
Yes. Yeah, I'd been hunting for a hot minute, and I had an interview yesterday, and overall, I thought I was making a pretty good impression during the interview. However, the interviewer did say that he was concerned that I was overqualified, and he even suggested, and even suggested that he might pass my resume on to the engineering team. And my response to that was, yeah, I'd prefer a job where I'm on my feet as opposed to a desk job. And that resonated with him pretty strongly.
So that helped.
So then the recruiter with the temp agency that set me up with the interview, she talked to me this morning and asked me how the interview went, and I gave the same report, and she, oh, I'm sorry to hear that. I'm like, oh crap. and then while I was AFK, I got a call from another recruiter, and then I got a call from from this recruiter saying that they were extending the offer to me.
I'm sorry, Sammy.
And I've had one recruiter talk to me about a position for $24 an hour, and this one is paying like $19. And I I briefly floated that, and the recruiter was like, "No, this one is not. The pay is not open to negotiation." So I'm like, "Yeah, hey, $19 in hand is better than $24 maybe." So,
yeah.
So, and other news, still nothing new on the Let Freedom Ring project. I haven't heard back from One Voice yet. That's the LGBTQ choir that's in the Twin Cities. And they I don't know if this is their off season or what, but I'll this coming week I'll probably make another attempt to reach out.
Well, actually, I'm thinking that they probably were busy over the Christmas season, so I would think that this month they're probably resting a bit.
See, a van like the one you just saw there just is begging for free candy signs to be glued on it.
Yeah, and they literally are driving around with white unmarked vans. And mostly a lot of SUVs.
Interesting enough, those were marked as Minnesota cop sheriffs on their outfits.
Oh, I didn't notice that. But I think driving in the snow, they're making the basic problem that I see so many people with SUVs driving in the snow make, that it doesn't matter if you have four-wheel drive, it doesn't help you when you're braking.
Well, see, driving in the snow is one thing, that's doable. But if you have like sheets of ice on the street, you quickly learn it's like driving is probably not your best choice.
Yeah.
I mean, like inch-thick sheets of ice or more. It's like you stay home until it melts.
But yeah, they're basically planting an instigator into the protesters in this crowd here. They're probably more than just one guy too.
Yeah, I was hearing about that. Even in my Signal group, to beware that they were planting instigators at the protests.
Well, they want. The problem is Trump wants it to escalate.
Yeah, he wants to show that the people are violent, and that's why he has to send the army in.
And he's not getting it. He was also hoping the National Guard would provoke something, and the National Guard's just like, no. And the Marines were like, why are we here?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, at least the Marines weren't called away from their job. They're Marines, but... I just hope it continues to find the...
Stupid.
No, I have never accused... All right. I have a challenge. All right, homework assignment class. If you can find me one intelligent thing Trump has done, you'll earn an A in my course.
Nothing comes to mind.
Yeah.
It's the sound of crickets.
There is one good thing Trump can do, but that might take a while.
Are we also counting his first term?
No.
Does it matter?
I'm talking his end.
Yeah, but Mage, were you able to find something in his first term that was intelligent?
He fast-tracked the vaccine.
He did?
Yeah.
Yeah, but only
He
after
did.
saying that vaccines were ineffective.
Yeah, but he still fast-tracked the vaccine. I mean, he undermined it, yeah.
Operation Warp Speed was a good thing, and lowering the corporate tax rate for the United States was not a bad thing either, because the United States had the highest corporate tax rate in the world. It actually helped a lot of small businesses. Now, he should have offset it with taxes on billionaires, but...
Oh, come on. How could he do that to the people who paid for his election campaign?
I put a post on Twitter with capital letters. I wish I had to pay 1.5 million euros a year in taxes, and nobody even reacted. And normally they are like flies on shit when they say something. But
Well,
it's true.
if you had to pay 1.5 million euros in taxes, then you would have made more than that.
Then I could pay it.
I wish I had to pay $1.5 million US dollars in taxes too.
Yeah.
Although I wouldn't be paying them to the US for very long right now.
And you know what would happen if they gave if all these filthy rich billionaires suddenly should pay taxes? They would still be filthy rich billionaires.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So I got to split, y'all.
Okay.
So
yeah, Ned, you have any final words you want to add here?
No. I have a car.
That's cool.
And this car, you know this stereotype. This car is so good. It literally has been from an old lady, and it has always been inside. And this is one of these cars. Grandma died, and the car had to be sold, and I bought it. It is like new, and it's 21 years old, and it looks like it just came from the showroom.
I had one of those grandmas.
Hey, I'm just happy my Dodge Grand Caravan is still running.
You what?
So it has about 55,000 miles or 90,000 kilometers on it.
Purple's seen my car.
Yep.
Oh, is it that bad?
It's, well, at least its window rolls up now. And its head gasket has been fixed.
Oh,
Okay.
this car is a piece of gold for the price I paid for it, and I think it will. I will think it will drive for 6 or 10 years more.
Well, while your car's window rolls up, technically true. That usually doesn't include the fact that it's a shower curtain that you can roll.
No, it actually is a totally different door.
Yeah.
It's not.
I know. I just had to poke at it.
It's the door that was in the back that's on there now.
Yep. Okay, Mage.
Don't have too much going on. Don't forget about Thursday, a midnight show. Just been working on my story pretty much all week.
Okay. So maybe I have another chapter of that.
Yep. I'm up to chapter 6, so I kind of cheated, seeing as I split up chapter 4 into 2 different chapters.
Mm-hmm.
But
That's
an
interesting story, the parts of it you've read to us.
Yeah. Well, if you want to hear more, I can read more out of it.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying, that, could include that as part of the Thursday night thing, or just read us another section of it.
Yeah, sure, if you like.
Yeah.
I mean, it's still in revisement, so it's not like it's, everything's still up in the air with how it's going to be, but.
Yep. Oh. Well, I don't have anything except that, back here same time next week. Oh. So I guess with that then, we will bid you all adieu. Farewell. Avida.
Adieu, farewell.
Auf Wiedersehen.
Goodbye.
Adios.
May the odds be ever in your favor.
Very